life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. You know what it is? Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Cut you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second welcome to the second Everything Plus Gaming on TSWS this week. We're doing things a bit differently this week, just a little bit differently. I'm Lok7, and joining me as always on Everything Plus Gaming is Mr. Tai Talks, as well as Mr. Aushus07. Good evening, Vincent Vega. Always on time. Appreciate the loyalty. Appreciate the support. Thank you for coming through. No, Matt. It's not Monday. It is not Monday, Matt. But if you'd like to hop in, I'm about to shoot you a link for today's show. Feel free, Matt. Feel free. Please, guys, make sure to smash the like button. We're in here doing it as usual. Anyways, Tai, how are you? And what have you been playing since yesterday?
Assassin's Creed. Having a good time with the game. Nawe is she's such a joy to play. Like, I'm never gonna lie, she's becoming one of my top assassins. I'm playing her in the immersion mode, so she speaks, Japanese, and I think the way she speaks, her animation, it feels like I'm watching Shogun. Like, it has that real authentic feel to it. So,
Okay.
like, this is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, okay. I'm also playing immersion mode. I started this afternoon. I don't know. Listen. No offense to anyone that plays Assassin's Creed in English. No offense at all. But what the hell are you doing if you're playing Assassin's Creed in English? What are you doing? Get your life in order. Sort yourself out. All right? If you're playing Assassin's Creed Shadows in English, come on. Put immersive mode on and get to reading. Aushus, how are you? And what have you been playing since yesterday?
I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1, brother.
On what platform?
On the PC, brother. The only platform that matters.
Amen.
Yeah, I've been playing
Preach.
Mortal Kombat 1 and WWE 2K24 for the short time that we've had power in this godforsaken. Sometimes I think the stereotypes are true. But anyway,
all I'll say, right, is that stereotypes don't just show up randomly. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
but we can't get too political today, because just like Matt said, today is not Monday. Matthew Hum, welcome, says, I don't play this game. Is is it still getting better or is it stagnant? Where are my 33 Immortals peeps at? It's a good question. Who's playing 33 Immortals? It recently launched, I think last week. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Um, so yeah, as I alluded to earlier on, I'm actually playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Until Kazan finally launches. Just being honest, as soon as Kazan launches, I'm out, bro. Like I got to go as soon as Kazan launches. But yeah, I'm
What the hell is
playing
Kazan?
Oh,
the
dude,
first the
you
first
don't
Baza-
know?
yeah. Bro,
You
oh,
don't
you don't
know?
know?
Oh, you
Your
didn't.
ass
Yes,
better
you better
call
tell. Yes.
somebody.
Yeah.
You have a chance to play as your Mozambique brother Yasuke, and you're choosing to
Oh,
play
bite me.
Kazan. Who the hell?
Bite
Where's he
me.
from? South Africa? What's his
I just
skin
destroy
tone?
shade. Oh, jeez. So what?
Why? Why
Now
is this?
games are
Why is
fun
all this important?
because of their skin color.
Oh, it's not important. Oh, my bad.
Why is this all of a sudden
All
important,
you
bro?
motherfuckers made it seem like it was extremely important some time ago, but now we don't care about skin tones and color. Okay, my bad.
Bro, like,
Let's carry
bro,
on.
bro, what's wrong with you? Whoa, whoa,
My guy. This is
Oh,
this is not a
jeez.
DEI meeting for Ubisoft. Relax, right? You punched out like 20 minutes ago. This is TSWS. But yeah, the reason I'm giving precedence or priority to Kazan is because it's a Souls like, and those games speak more to me than Assassin's Creed. But before I talk about Kazan, let's talk about Assassin's Creed. I played I played a bit of it. I passed the prologue, and I think I put in about 4 hours so far, and I can see it. Ty, I can see why you're into it. Personally, the highlight for me, because I played in immersive mode, just like you did, Ty,
Mhm.
the the attention to detail, right? So when the Portuguese guys are speaking, a lot of you guys like. Let me give the example of English. Let's pretend English is not the most spoken language on the planet. This is akin to someone saying, "Oh yeah, there's going to be like classic English people there, and then the classic English people are speaking in the olden English that they used to speak in. Because we're used to seeing this in gaming, it's like, well, whatever, dude. That they do this all the time. But I had a I had a little bit of a moment, okay, when the priests started speaking in Portuguese and the accent was authentic. That is actual Portuguese from Portugal, from back in those days. I was convinced. And Yasuke's accent of Portuguese also was pretty accurate. And it's like a short little. It's not a lot of the prologue, right? It's like 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes, personally for me, I really appreciate that. That was that was an awesome touch. If I'm being completely honest, it was an awesome touch. I didn't cry, but it definitely hit me in the feels.
Mhm.
Uh,
Do you see what I was saying now about like I feel like they're taking a lot more, they've paid more attention to the storytelling element of it.
oh yeah, yeah. I can see how that's a thing. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, and trust me, like
I'm very impressed.
it gets more because you get more cutscenes. It feels more authentic, and when you keep playing in immersion mode, like I'm even saying to myself now, yo, all these other JRPG games, like, do I need to go to? Do I need to play them in Japanese? Like, is that the way to go now? Because there's just something
My
about it
guy.
that makes you feel
Yes.
like this is it. Like this is the way it should be played. This is the way it should be sounding. And her
Yeah.
mannerisms as well, like her facial expressions. Like the actress is really good. Like she does an
And
amazing
the lip
job.
syncing, bro. The lip syncing. It's actually accurate when they're speaking in Japanese, and you look at their lips. It tracks. It tracks with the audio that's coming out. For, I'm not saying this is my game of the year. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I'm about to drop it for Kazan, which I'm definitely sure is not going to be one of the candidates for game of the year. I'm sure of that. But you know what? I can't say, like, I can't say it's a bad game. Okay, it's a good game. Um,
And it's only going to
I'm
get better,
I'm
man. It's only going to get better. Like right now, I still have it as an 8.5 because I've seen the improvements. I've seen the stealth elements get improved. I've seen things like the resource management or the base home building. These are things I'm not really interested in, but I can see Ubisoft has expanded on them a little bit. Even some of the
yeah.
mini games are a lot more interesting, and I can feel myself playing them more. Um, the game is smaller than Odyssey and smaller than Valhalla.
Valhalla,
So that's
clearly.
Ubisoft saying, okay, you guys told us Valhalla was too much. You know what? Let's go back to Origins kind of scale and let's add more
Yeah.
depth into this product. So that's them listening to them to obviously feedback. And yeah, you can see it. Like I haven't like explored the whole map yet. But once again,
Hmm.
if you're somebody who likes the exploration, you could do that. But if you don't like it, you can just play on the guided mode. And this is something that Ubisoft is doing that maybe some people might complain about because people don't like options. But like one of my guys, he's playing on option mode. He's playing it on stealth kills. He's playing it on easy mode. I'm playing on hard mode. I'm playing it on not the exploration mode, the hardcore mode. So I have to manage my
Yeah.
resources properly. I'm playing it like in the purest way you could probably play an Assassin's Creed game, and he's playing it in the most casual way. And as long as Ubi's providing these options to people, then there really shouldn't be a complaint as to like what it should be this way, it should be that way. No, just play the game you want to play it, and that's it.
Yeah. Obviously, I put the default Assassin's mode, right? The one that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
to take out people in one hit. And even like listen,
What?
the
Yeah,
two
one
player
hit.
mode. I'm seeing a lot more, at least on the Assassin's Creed subreddit. There's a lot of people obviously who prefer Nawe, 100%. She's the assassin. But when
Yeah.
but people are experiencing Yasuke a lot more. They're saying like, yo, it's a breath of fresh air to play as Nawe for like, 30 hours and then just to have a different character that you could just like brute force your way through these castles. And I think that's good. Once again, that's option. That's diversity of play. That's replayability. And I was even just double checking the co-op mode that was rumored by Tom Henderson, and he says, yeah, the co-op mode will be Yasuke and now we're playing together. Once again, if you have a mate, he wants to, brute force. You have a mate who wants to sneak around. Like that is gonna be. I think that's gonna be a good selling point from a post expansion point of view. Not just DLCs with these new missions, but actually telling players, hey, you can actually play with your friend, and you guys could do missions together. And yeah, I
That
think
sounds interesting. Could you have two Yasuke's? Because that would be interesting.
I hope they do that. I hope they don't just keep it simple and just say Yasuke and Nawe. Like they
Yeah.
should understand that people want to play as certain characters. Like you should be able to have two Nawes, to be honest, and two
Bro,
Yasuke.
can you imagine? Can you imagine me and you like synchronizing our assassinations? Like, you take
Exactly.
out that guy in three, two, one, like SOCOM, but with
Hmm.
ninjas. That sounds interesting. That
Even
sounds
like
fun.
from what I remember, I know like excuse me, from what I got told that there's missions in the game where clearly like Yasuke is like, okay, I'll do this, and I'll go sort out these people, and then you go do that. So again, like I could see a mission, a co-op mission, where the base is heavily fortified, and now he's having a problem getting in. So Yasuke is the one who goes in, distracts everybody, right? And then now does a sneakiness around. Like there's so much that they could play with it, and I just hope Ubisoft executes it well. Because if they do, from a post-launch perspective, I think this could be their biggest Assassin's Creed
There's
game.
potential. Yeah, there's potential there. Mike Johnson, what's cracking lacking? Welcome, welcome. Make sure to smash the like button, Mike Johnson. But yeah, man, you're right. I haven't played a lot of the game, but I'm impressed with what I'm seeing on Assassin's Creed Shadows. If it wasn't for Kazan and AI Limit, the two Souls likes that are launching on the same day on the 27th, this I'd probably be mainlining this game until what's it called comes out, Doom. Oh, sorry, South of Midnight. But yeah, again, it's good, but Assassin's Creed hasn't taken like precedence for me for years now. So all I will say is that this doesn't look like a waste of money or time, in my opinion.
No, for sure. And like I'll argue with people who tell me like, "Oh, you got the user score on Metacritic, bro." It's like, shut up. How about we look at the the score of the people who actually purchased the game, aka the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, and of course the Steam Store.
The Steam
But they don't
store.
like these things because whenever you tell them, like even like Luke Stevenson, right? You go on his channel and he's pretty anti kind of Ubisoft a little bit, right? And he's kind of gathered a group of people who are kind of anti-establishment or like anti like
But I think he praised
corporation.
it. Did he not today?
No,
I
no,
think he
he
praised it
did.
today.
No, he did. But guess what? In the comment section,
What?
they're all abusing him. They're like, "Oh, you shill." Like, "Oh, you shill." You this.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
They're all going at him, and this is the thing. If
Dude, well, okay, so technically, even I would be a shill then. Even I would be a shill. Because
no,
yesterday, I wasn't exactly praising this game. And now that I've played it, I'm like, all right, now hold the phone, hold the phone. Maybe we need to have a conversation here. It ain't so bad.
no,
It
true,
ain't so bad.
but I ain't condemning you or Luke. And what I'm saying is that it's the fan base, right? Like you said something about Asmongold's fan base that like they stick to their guns, like they'll disagree with him whenever they have to. But I just
Yeah.
find it interesting, like in Luke's camp, what it is there's people there who haven't played the game, they don't want to play the game, and they're telling Luke like, "Oh, you're lying." The guy who played the game and
Oh,
purchased it is lying,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you who never played the game, you're correct. It's these people they
I don't know.
wanted to kind of feel
Maybe
right.
it's not as convincing. Maybe it's not as convincing because Asmund Gold, the people who tell him that he's wrong, or he's shilling or whatever, and he'll tell them, I don't give a fuck y'all, I'm going to play the game, and then he'll like stream the game for 3 hours straight. Then people would see that this guy's not shilling, he's actually enjoying, and then others will from what they see on Asmund Gold's channel or his stream will be like, all right, now maybe I'll go buy the game, you know. But me personally, I think it's worth your money. It's worth your investment. I'll probably buy this. Well, I already have it on PlayStation, but I'll probably get it on my main platform on a deep sale. Not right
Wait,
now.
wait, wait, wait. What? You have on PlayStation?
Yeah, I have it on PlayStation.
Don't you go to PC?
It's
Yeah.
cheaper on PC, bro. I don't understand why you would get it on
Wait,
PlayStation.
it's not about cheaper. It's superior on PC.
Yeah,
You playing 30 frames? Like, what the hell are you
yeah,
doing?
that is whack.
Like, I oh, bro, no, you have this on
But it is 60
PlayStation.
frames. You do have a 60 frame mode, don't you?
I don't know. I
I
don't
know
know.
I
you
think
do,
you
you do,
do.
you do. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
I
performance.
you.
just played the game. I just played the
It's
game.
when you
I
put on
didn't see
all
no
the
option.
ray tracing bullshit when
Yeah.
that's when.
Okay, but I
Okay.
didn't see
I
the
mean,
option for 60 frames.
yeah, there is like it'll turn off all the stupid ass ray tracing shit
Okay, you know what? I'll say
that you don't
this,
really
yeah.
need.
There probably isn't a
What?
huge major difference probably between PC
Yeah.
and PS5. Like with
Yeah.
Well,
Starfield though, there's a
there
huge
is.
no, there's a huge difference but whatever. But like I mean like for me though, the Starfield difference is insane. Like it's not even comparable. I'm probably guessing some speed difference is not even maybe that deep.
Vincent says Loki is a pony, confirmed.
Yeah, man. Listen, to have a PC that is probably
Exposed,
cheaper
exposed,
and
exposed.
probably a superior product, and you chose the PlayStation. Like, listen,
Exposed.
Oh my
I'm
god.
an Xbox guy, but I got this shit on PC. Like,
All
of
right,
course.
all right. Let's move on to this discussion. Let's move on. Welcome, Rachie. Appreciate you for coming through.
I
Make
was
sure to smash the like button.
I was
Yeah,
wondering
Oshis,
when
go
you
ahead.
guys, and I was just wondering when you guys are gonna be done pole jockeying for Assassin's Creed. Have you got it out? Are
Oh
you
my
The
god.
tourist. The tourist.
have you shot your load? Like, cause like you guys were just on it, like just yeah, man. You guys were
Oshis,
yeah. Okay.
Oshis, you can call me the mayor of fair. All right. If we're talking about if we're crapping on something, I will take my time. And if we're praising something, I will also take my time. If I'm right about something, I will take my time. But like yesterday, for example, when all of you guys were disagreeing with me, I didn't try to move on the conversation. I sat on it and I let y'all have your dubs. I'm
Yeah,
the mayor of fair.
I did the
Consistency
same. Did
is
I not
is all
listen to you?
is all that I'm about. Dude, now you're telling us about are you done? Did you get your load out? Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
because you guys were
It's
just
like we're
jerking this
shills.
game off. Like you guys were just like, yeah, like I'll take the balls, you take the shaft. I'm like, okay, okay, you do your thing.
Cautious at no point. At
I'll
no
wait
point.
outside.
All right.
I expect
All
nothing
right.
less from a Ubisoft hater, Assassin's Creed.
I don't hate
So,
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I'm just indifferent.
Yeah. The Sly Crow, welcome, welcome. Make sure to smash the like button on your way in. Appreciate you for coming through. But yeah, for those that weren't here, Oshus, suck it. For those that weren't here, we were talking about Assassin's Creed. Yesterday, I was extra spicy and critical about it. This afternoon, I got to play it for about 4 hours before we had to start the show. And yeah, I take back what I said. It's not horrible. It looks like a good time. It's just that Kazan takes priority for me personally. But I like what I saw at the beginning. I like it. I like it. Looks like a good time. Anyways,
Hideki is fighting people about Assassin's Creed now.
Kamiya,
Yeah,
what's up?
some guy. Well, a few days ago, he posted that he's happy that Assassin's Creed is doing well, blah blah blah, and that the game has gotten on fair scrutiny. And obviously, people
Hmm.
were happy, but some people who were like, "Oh, like why would you say that? I thought you were a cool guy." And one guy said, "I thought this guy was a decent guy who would debate, but he was just a contrarian." And then Hideki responded, "Why do you think that some insects no bigger than breadcrumbs lying around can debate with a world-class creator at my level?" Spicy. He's willing to go at the.
You're such a
What?
shield. Like Tay is such a
Kamiya said
like.
that.
Kamiya,
Send me. I want to save this.
He
I want
probably
to see.
did.
No,
Like
send me
I'm
the
sure
link.
that-
sure.
But
I'll
Tay
send it
is
to you on
such
that.
a you. Oh, dude, you.
Hi, what's your problem with Hideki? What's your problem?
No,
Oshus.
I've got
See,
no
the,
problem with
the
it, Dickie.
problem with
Like
Ushers is that
my
Ushers is
problem is
he's not happy with the reception. When he saw 1 million copies players, he was like, "Oh god damn!" Then he saw two
And then
no.
million.
2 million.
Then he saw that
Now two
the
point
game is
five.
now he saw that the game is tracking better than all these games, and Ubisoft is happy, and his players he's not happy.
This
It's
guy.
pissing him
Like
off
go look at my timeline, Ty. Like I reshared every single one of those to say, wow, the game is doing well. I'm glad.
because you're
Like
ready to hop onto the right side. You're like, "Oh
no,
man,
not at all. Like
this
okay,
go
how
woke no
many?
broke shit ain't working out."
All right, okay, cool. So how many? So how many people? How many
Oh
people?
my
If that's
goodness.
what I'm doing, how many grifters did that? Because what grifters do is the moment the narrative doesn't agree with them, they
They
stop
moved the
talking about the.
goalpost.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, they either move the goalpost or they stop talking about the game at all. They stop covering it at all. Like my thing is, I never had anything against it. Like I just pointed out the obvious thing that nobody likes Ubisoft because nobody liked Ubisoft. That's the problem.
Obvious.
It's
Obvious.
got nothing
Obvious.
to do with all this other shit about like Yasuke being black and all that. There is a side effect of the fact that people don't like Ubisoft. Ubisoft has had like what's that game? Sleeping Dogs 2 was the protagonist was black. They've had so many black protagonists in the game, nobody gave a shit, including a slave girl, a half French, a slave girl in Liberation, in Assassin's Creed Liberation. So nobody cares about that. Like it's just Ubisoft is a shitty company. Like that is why nobody likes Ubisoft.
Okay, they're a mismanaged company, not a shitty company.
Yeah,
I
I
think
wouldn't
they're a
say
shitty company. I think they're a shitty company.
I don't
Like
think a
the
shitty company will be able um to produce what they've produced. What the fuck is
Activision
this?
is a shitty company and they can produce AAA or what 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 does Phil call it, quadruple A, something
you think
Xbox will never
Ubisoft
be
is shittier than EA
done.
than EA.
Then EA.
Yes, yeah.
Bro, come on.
Like look, this
You're
is
the
what.
one who brought it to our attention yesterday. Remember, Ty, when you showed us the levels of like
Hmm.
incompetence at Ubisoft. When you're talking
Yeah,
about
I mean, I would
the
like
number of
EA.
employees
Yeah,
versus production in terms of income. I
Hmm.
mean, bro, come on.
EA is better run. That's all I'll say. EA has got better management, and EA sort of like. I think the best way to describe EA is how the creators of actually the founders of BioWare described EA. EA gives you enough rope to hang
To hang
yourself.
yourself.
So
Yeah.
if you are a guy, if you've got a great idea, they'll run with you and say, yeah, we'll support you. But the moment that a great idea doesn't make money, they shut your studio down. And I think that's fair.
But are they shittier than
Yeah.
Ubisoft?
Whereas I think no, they're
Yeah,
not. Like I
man.
think Ubisoft is like bottom of the barrel. Like
Yeah,
there's
dude.
nothing worse than Ubisoft.
If I'm a billionaire and I have to put money into a company, I have to put in like 100 million into one of these two companies. I'm giving it to EA, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I'm sorry.
EA is more likely to return like a profit. Like
Yeah,
EA barely misses when it comes to big titles. It's once in a while when they take a chance on something. I mean, the dude that's making all these two-player games, like EA found that guy. Like EA is just. I'll say this: as much as like it's
and then
become
we're the
sort of like the
ones,
evil
and then we're the
corporate.
ones on AC Shadows jokes, but Oshus is out here dick riding EA. Go ahead, Oshus. Enjoy
Yeah,
yourself.
The thing about EA is like
and I don't own any EA games, which is
they'll
weird.
have like Ubi would have like some misses, right? And like everybody's gonna have some misses, but EA balances that out with like wins. So for
Hundred
example,
percent.
they would have like Immortals of Avium, right? And you could even say to an extent like Tales of Kanzara, those are probably misses, yeah. But they
Yeah.
turn around and say, well, here's it takes two, or here's Split Fiction, like boom. They'll
Yeah.
say, okay, yeah, maybe FIFA didn't bring in as much money as it should have this year, but college football broke records. It's one of the
Yeah.
best selling, sports game. Like they always have some other win around the corner.
Yeah, and even
Um,
their L's, the recent L from FIFA, it's like, okay, let's look at the numbers. Yeah,
It's
they made less than last year. They
yeah.
made less than last year, but they still made a shit ton of money. It's like, was it really a failure? Like they failed to do the thing that we always say is impossible, which is endless profits, endless, just more and more and more every single year. It's not possible. Yeah, that's what
exactly.
they
Yeah.
failed to do. But in terms of making money, they still made a bucket load and it's
Yeah.
more than what they invested. Whereas on the other side, like you said yesterday, bro, the number of employees, just the number of employees before you even get into budget, before you even get into marketing, it's like it's wild on the Ubisoft side. It's wild.
And it's crazy
Richie
to me.
says, hold on, Richie says Shadow is good. Sly Crow says Cyberpunk 2077 is a 9 out of 10. AC Shadows is a 7. Sly Crow, I like Shadows, but please, never, never, ever, ever put Cyberpunk next to Shadows. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but there's levels, and Cyberpunk does not belong in a conversation with Shadows. Like, it's an insult to Cyberpunk.
That's
Anyway,
a mean thing
Oshus,
to
you're gonna
say.
say? It's not
That's
a mean thing to
that's
say.
a
I
very
don't think,
mean thing to say.
dude, come on. People will be talking
Like
about Cyberpunk till the end of next gen, bro.
yeah, like again, the reason you can say that
No
is
one will be
because
talking about shadows, bro. Like, no offense. I'm sorry, no one's gonna be talking
you
about
just you
shadows.
just you just hurt Ty's feelings.
Ah, bite me,
but but,
bite me.
but my thing
Ty, do you disagree with what I just said? Like, I'm not saying Shadows is a bad game, but there's levels to these discussions, no?
Yeah, for sure. Like Shadows wouldn't be in the same lane as Cyberpunk
Yeah.
or
and it
Maybe.
should. Why is it not? The
Oh my
budgets
God,
are probably
Oshus.
the
No,
same.
no, not everything needs to be a masterpiece. We're not going to dwell on this.
What?
No,
But the budgets
Oshus.
they
You're
spent
trying
that
to
much
bait
money.
us. You're
It's
trying to
probably
bait
the same
us.
amount of money that they spent. They're like the
This
hour, like
guy's
the
trying to
credits.
bait
The credits are like 2 hours. That's bigger than the team that it took to build Cyberpunk, and they just built a seven
Yeah,
out of ten game. Okay,
I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite.
all
Ty, do
right.
you wanna bite? Do you wanna
Yeah,
bite,
so
Ty?
the
You
credits
Ty,
is
Ty,
hire a
bite.
thousand people
the
to make a
credits
seven out
is
of
Hey,
ten
hey,
game.
the
Ushers,
credit
you made a
system is
question.
very
Let Ushers
different, right?
finish.
Because what Ubisoft generally does is they just throw everybody in. If you touch the game in some way, shape, or form, they'll do that. So Nintendo's actually been accused of this, where people actually work on the game and they maybe work on it for like maybe a couple of months or whatever it is, and Nintendo says, nope, not a lot, not enough. You didn't pass that threshold. Whereas Ubisoft will put the janitor there, the, the cafeteria lady, they put everyone on the list, and
The
there was
puppies.
somebody who did come out and say like, yeah, Ubisoft are very generous with people's on the credits. And listen, you might say, oh, that's an L, but like for those developers out there to be on that game, That's a W. And I thought we love developers. We want them to be acknowledged. But here you are becoming a shill because you hate Ubisoft and you hate Yasuke. I don't know why you hate Yasuke.
Keep going. Keep going, Ty. I'm listening.
I'm not
Listen,
a fan of
this
Ubisoft, but come
this
on,
game is not
bro.
going to be
Shadows is good. Come on.
this game is not going to be like one of those kind of games, right? Because listen, it's a Metacritic on like it's an 8, right? So I think that's fair. Um, but it doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10 games because listen, Ghost of Tsushima was an 8 out of 10 game too, and that did numbers. Um, the Wukong game was an 8 out of 10 game too, and that did numbers. Stellar Blade is a game that a lot of people like as well. That did numbers. I know some people who think Stellar Blade like should be up there as like a game of the year contender, at least for last year. Not for me, but hey,
And
listen,
those
it
people
has
are
time.
crazy. Those people are
I
crazy.
I think it should be because like it's one of my
Oh,
top 3 games of the
Goon
year this
Gang,
year.
good game, Goon Gang.
I can't wait for that game. Like it's like June is like too far, bro. Like when is it coming to
Yeah, yeah.
PC
We're both
so
gonna
I
buy
can
that one.
cop
We're
that?
both
I'm
gonna buy
buying.
that.
I'm pre-ordering. I'm doing the whole everything. This is
Bro,
the first
do,
time in like 10 years that Sony's just gonna have my money.
do you
Like just
do
like
you have
take it.
enough? Do you have enough water based lubricant? Do you have it?
I'm not gonna comment on that. Like I
All
got
right.
some of that. I got some of that Diddy lubricant.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Some of that
Uh,
baby oil. I'll be glistening there.
goodness. Jacob Novak,
Oh,
welcome in. Says Loke Tire, Oshus in chat. Hi. Only because Loke said it, I will make a game called Cyberpunk: The Assassins of the Shadow Creed. Okay. Okay.
how
That's
good
not
was
stressing me out. That's not stressing me out. How good was what?
Idris in Phantom Liberty? That dude can act out of anything. Like
Like the
I
first
really
5 minutes, I'm being honest, I was kind of skeptical and I was like, this is maybe a gimmick. And then, like, 2 hours in, I was like, oh my God, it's real. He did not ham it up. He wasn't lazy
nah,
about it.
please,
He took it very seriously. The
bro.
writing is close to perfect. Yo, if you haven't played the DLC yet, right?
Told me like I'm like a third way
Yeah,
through. Like I'm quite well. Actually, I'm in the where you have to swim down the tunnels to get to the other side of the some sort of like sewer or something.
yeah,
Yeah, that's where I am now. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm quite a bit in. Like the story is quite like it's good. It's like a good James
My
Bond
goodness, bro.
movie. Yeah, like exceptional writing. Like that.
Yeah,
That's the
I
one
would
of the
say,
few games that just keeps going and every. And I don't want to finish it. Like the reason I'm playing it, so I don't want to finish it because it's so damn good. Like
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
enjoy it piece
I
at a
was
time.
also heartbroken. I was also heartbroken when I had to finish the game. But you know what? The PC is here. I'm going to buy the game again, and I will be replaying Cyberpunk on max settings. I cannot wait.
Mm.
I I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely peak. Jacob says you can't run away from your problems. Lokiana. What? You play as Loke, who are a cyborg assassin trying to make cyber assassins the only breed in the world. Oh my god, who's writing this? What is this? Ron slash I'm going to put me in the game. Yeah, might as well. Might as well put yourself in the game, Ron. Might as well do that. Anyways, so Oshus,
Yo,
you successfully baited Tai into this discussion about freaking Assassin's
what
Creed
discussion?
and the budget. This rubbish that you're throwing there. But I'm not gonna bite. So we're gonna move into our main topic before we discuss the other ancillary parts of the show today. Oh my goodness. Sims rival InZOI has become the most wishlisted game on Steam. So here we get into it. Do you guys know what InZOI is?
Nope.
Have you
Yes, I
guys
do.
seen any videos on InZOI? Okay, Tai has
Mm-mm.
seen it. Osha, stop playing games, right? Open your YouTube while I read this article and watch at least a 30-second clip on InZOI.
All right.
Try and be professional, all right? Try and be professional. Also, your camera just shut out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
According to information on SteamDB and Steam's own data, the South Korean developed Sims Challenger has topped Steam's wishlist charts as spotted by ATLV. As the game's early access release on March,
I know
wow,
this.
okay, it's on Friday, on March 28th nears, it's seen a surge in popularity, causing it to overtake the previous most wishlisted game, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Really? Hollow Knight was number one? That's wild. The game has also been followed on Steam by more than 50,000 followers in the past week, bringing its total to around 250K. The work of South Korean developer InZOI Studio InZOI is a take on The Sims, which promises realistic graphics and a wide range of customization options. While many of the game's mechanics will be familiar to players of EA series, the game's focus is on giving the player more tools to create their own characters, objects, and other elements. Players can import their own textures for many of the surfaces of the game, and can use its AI tools to convert photos they've taken into a real life object. Okay. For example, when we played the game for review, we took a single photo of a Tom Nook Build-A-Bear plush, and InZOI turned it into an object that could be placed in the house. The game also allows players to upload videos of themselves or other people performing motions, then uses generative AI to turn those motions into animations for the in-game. Yo! Players can also upload their creations to Canvas in InZOI's in-game sharing platform. VGC's InZOI review in progress said the game was some real competition for The Sims, praising its realism. Gentlemen, this sounds out of this world. It almost doesn't sound real. Ty, what are your thoughts
Listen, the
on
generative
this
AI
game?
is just whenever I hear about AI in games, I always get excited because you could always all you need to do is look at the cyberpunk videos on AI and look at the
Yeah.
videos on Skyrim or any video pretty much, and just being able to talk to NPCs, endless dialogue, endless animations. There's just so much you can do. These companies are obsessed with making us buy games like Assassin's Creed, games like even like
So we
Zelda or whatever it
can play
is.
forever.
Yes, we can play forever. And listen, they put in some effort here, but with AI, I feel like you can truly play forever because the games will just be constantly being improved over and over again. You're gonna, I can even imagine in Assassin's Creed where I go talk to a random NPC, and instead of them just saying, "Oh, hello, konnichiwa," whatever it is, they're talking to me about life and their farm and some other like rubbish crap. And maybe I'm not into that, and that's fine, but that's going to make me more invested in that game. So what would have been like maybe 2 months or 3 months of playtime turns into maybe 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 1 year or so. Um, Now, in terms of Zoe
Uh,
itself, it's great. I'm not into it just because I'm not really into the Sims. So I think for the Sims community, it's good to have a competitor. And I think all games like this, we should be able to point to a different entity that is rivaling it. So, with Call of Duty, we have Battlefield, right? Even you could say we have Assassin's Creed, we have
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima to an extent. So that should be the case. I'm just surprised this took so long to come out.
I think this game is dangerous, fellas. Especially if we're going to go with AI. Because Taya, you were thinking about dialogue. This game, how can I put it? Like, there's so much potential here, especially if they let people have the opportunity to make their own stories within the game. Like even I would be interested to get into it. Let me give you an example. I'm a football manager addict, right? G maybe 100%, dude. Creating your own animation definitely sounds risque, bro. It definitely sounds like things to get out of hand quickly, right? Especially if you give it to like, oh no, it's Alex's people. Pause. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of applications for this. If this goes on the same amount of time that like even the Sims went. I think Sims 4 is like 5 years old, 10 years old now. It's ancient with so many attachments, right? Which complicate new players or whatever. But my point is, if this thing is as open as the description says, if it gets bigger and more open, to my point, Ty and Oshus, someone could get in this game and make a game inside of it where you become a football manager. You see here where it says life of advancement and trying to figure out like a career or whatever, you could make a football manager career and then make a whole, I don't know, 30-year span that includes family, that includes side gigs, that includes media and all these other things. And now you're stuck and you're going to play this game for the next 5 years. No problem. Does that sound like I'm reaching?
No, it's there. 100%. I'm already seeing like examples of this um, come through. Even like even when you were talking there, here's another example where when people are making
Oh my God, Jacob.
when people are
What are
making
you doing?
AI generative pictures, it all starts with a prompt. So there's somebody out there who's saying, make a tall guy who's slim on the waist, tall hair, muscles hair, and he's going to a rock band. Like that input right there, people can actually create them and then post them online, and then somebody could write their own story, right? And then they'll say, okay, what do you think of my script? And then if you like that script, then you implement that script into your game, and then that becomes a brand new DLC.
Damn. And then start charging people for DLC, even if it's like $2.
But the problem with
Here's the
PC,
football manager DLC.
oh, true, but you know how like the thing about PC or the online community is that while there are gonna be people who are gonna want to charge people money, there's people who just love doing this shit for free, and they will just post whatever they've created online for people to use.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah.
mean, we have like a version of this anyway already existing. People do this all the time with mods.
What's that?
Mods like this is just
Okay.
an like this is what, like, look, I'm for all this. Like I'm all for just like YouTube. If you go back 15 years ago, it was a very far-fetched idea that like everyone could have their own channel instead of watching TV on TV. So this is all this is. It's just another form of us now transitioning from where we actually consume game.
Transitioning. Yo, pause. Pause. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just go ahead.
You transphobe. So anyway, I was saying like we this is just a natural progression of where we are. Like it's going to. I like the fact that it's going to enable more people to create their own interactive experiences. So, but it's already happening, and you're going to find that you're going to get communities that just focus on doing this. It's not going to be everyone, but you're going to get like very specific communities. Just like now with AI art, there are very specific communities that just focus on creating their own AI art.
Mods.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the normal man on the street.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the guy, right? I don't want to be the DI guy, but I haven't seen one black character yet from any of these videos on InZOI. Have you guys seen one?
But it's a Korean game, bro. What's your point?
Hi, do we not play video games?
Sorry?
Do I have to make a Korean guy? What if I want to make a black guy?
Well, but this is a Korean game, so it's been like sort of like previewed by Koreans. Like, how many black guys do they see a day?
Tai,
I'm
oh
actually,
God,
I'm
Tai,
actually,
you don't care?
I actually agree with Osha, sir. And this is kind of the point I said about Assassin's Creed when people said,
What?
not to bring in Assassin's Creed again, but when people say like,
This is
"Yo,
wild.
they're taking Yasuke off the marketing," ha 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 ha. It's
Tai
like,
is agreeing with the tourist.
yeah, because to me it's like, yeah, you market to your audience. If they're determined that the people who are gonna primarily play this game are, they
Oh,
look this way, act this way, talk this way, and that's your target audience. Like, go ahead. There's no point
Yeah.
showing I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Like, you can show a black person, obviously. Like, it's not a
So you
problem.
can make a you can make a black
Yeah,
person. All
of
right, you
course we
can.
can.
Sly Crow
Yeah, you
said he
can.
made a
Yeah,
demo.
But like
All
nobody's
right,
done it because it's a Korean
all right.
audience, and they're just used to like, they're very specific about beauty standards there. Like,
was it
uh,
not
I'm
Tencent who
beautiful. All right,
that was
I'm
another leak
beautiful,
from
Ushers. I don't
Tencent?
know about you, but I'm beautiful.
Was another leak from
not
Tencent
not
where
to everyone.
I'm pretty.
was that
You know,
leak from
I'm pretty.
Tencent?
There's what?
There was that leak from Tencent, I think, where they were saying that characters should have like big boobs and not be black because white and big boobs is what attracts people more in games.
So what were they
Damn.
saying?
And well, they denied it, and they were like, "Well, we're looking into it or whatever." But it was basically like a kind of like a memo, like they say, make characters hot and
Yeah.
nice, nice chest, and yeah, make them as light as possible. Not black or whatever. So, and obviously they
Ah.
got called out, and I mean,
Yo, Sly Crow
you
said
kind
he
of
made
see
a black female.
you kind of see it
You
with
kind of see
even
what?
what was that game, Marvel Rivals as well, where they made them that character, or even Genshin Impact, where it's like they make them just lighter skin, like mixed race looking as opposed to like black
Oh,
characters.
hold on there,
No,
damn minute, Ty. Like,
Storm doesn't look like mixed race, bro.
No, 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 no.
I want to
There was
I want to come in
Looks
and
Nigerian.
defend my Chinese brethren and sisters. Like, and Mako, what is it? Is it
They
Make a
wouldn't call
Break?
you brother, but okay, whatever.
Make a Break. Yeah, please stop with your racism. Look, we've had enough. So like, Make a Break. Like the first time I loaded up the game, and I think it's because like it's very
Uh-huh.
region. Like they detected the region I was in. They made the most beautiful dark skinned avatar I'd ever, like, by default. Like that's who they sort of assigned me. I was like, this is good. Like, and I was happy with it. And I even shared pictures on it on Twitter. So like they're very much aware that everyone wants attractive characters regardless of color. It's not really a matter of they have to be white. Like yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big thing. I think a lot of the Asian, they're actually more open. You know what I hate is Western companies that whenever they draw a black
All
female,
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We're
she
talking
always
about
looks like
InZOI
she's
and
going.
Eastern Gaming. We're
She
talking
always
about
looks like she's
InZOI and
going
Eastern.
to a
Let's give
feminist
Western Gaming
rally.
ushers. Let's give Western Gaming a break today, please, or at least
She
for this
always
subject.
you know who all. Sorry, that's one last thing. Do you know who all
Oh,
female
all
characters
right.
look like in Western games?
Ooh,
They look like
ooh.
Yasuke.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Go
Jacob
look.
is bringing
Go
up
look. Go look.
a nice subject. Are you guys aware of what's happening with Johnny Somali in Korea? I think is it Korea or Japan? One of the two. South
It's
Korea. Okay.
Korea. It's South
Both, well,
Korea.
South Korea.
Are you guys aware of what's happening with the court case and whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Did
just
you see what
garbage.
happened before he got arrested or whatever?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's just a garbage human being. Like, I'm surprised nobody has thrown him in the trash yet.
Wow. So you're okay with him potentially going 5 to 10 years in jail?
I would give him 20 years.
Yeah, I'm okay.
He's a real garbage.
Wow.
He's a garbage human being. He's like the when I think of like trash and I think of people, his face immediately pops into my head.
I don't think
Jeez.
you'll get 10 years or whatever, right? I think it's just one of those cases of like, the worst case scenario, you get 10 years. You'll probably get something a lot shorter, maybe never in jail time, just like deported back to, wherever he is. But I'm perfectly fine with him getting, crazy punishments or whatever you want to call it, because it's completely disrespectful. You don't go to a different country and you don't do these things. You don't act like this. It's such a entitled.
But
Um,
he's one of our black brothers, and
No, he's
are we
not.
supposed to stick
uh,
together?
No, he's not. That dude is not even like. Is he even black?
Oh fuck! End of subject. End
Same.
of subject. This video is getting demonetized. Like none of our super chats are gonna go through now. Thanks, Oshus.
I'm
Thank you
just
so much
asking.
for that question.
Is he even black?
yeah, but I
Uh,
think his
you
dad is
didn't have to go.
I think
Don't
he's
say it the
Somalian
second
Ethiopian.
time.
Like, why is
Oshus,
it
be
like?
quiet. Do not say
Okay.
on this subject, Oshus. I don't want to. I want to hear one more word out of your
Uh,
mouth.
uh,
How can you? How can
okay.
you say that, bro?
What?
Jeez. Anyways, honestly, I'm happy that you guys feel the way you feel, because I definitely agree with y'all. This is it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous that he did what he did and all this other stuff. And I honestly can't believe he wasn't arrested earlier.
He tried
Because
to enter
any
the
other place on the
What?
courtroom.
planet,
He tried to enter the courtroom with a MAGA hat. Like he's looking at
what he
Trump. He's
did,
like, "Yo, help me out here, bro."
yeah, help me out. I'm an American. What made me like completely give up on the dude was when I saw the videos of what he did in the restaurant. Did you guys see what he did in the restaurant with the lady, like eating and then spitting on her, spitting on the floor, throwing stuff on the floor, chucking bottles at her? For me, when I saw that, that's when I was like, all right, bro, like, dude, deport him, arrest him, y'all need to do something with this guy. And then I found out they're not doing anything. I was like, I give up. But me personally, I was done with him. As soon as he did that, I was out. I gave up.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of trash human beings out there.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah. This is InZOI, and from the looks of it, guys, I'm a big fan, and I'm not even a big fan of like Sims games. But you know, I think I'm gonna send the link to of this game to the wife. I think she might like it.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Like, I remember with Sims 2, like, oh, that thing there was a relationship saver. My ex girlfriend used to just play that thing forever. Like, it was the best way I could keep her doing her own thing so I could play games. It was like, yeah,
So
yes,
you could play games.
because women, like, like when she was busy with that, like it could take hours, and I didn't have to worry. I was like, yeah, what? Yeah, do that. I'll play Call
You
of
were
Duty
good.
4. We're good. We good. This relationship is working.
This will work. This will do.
Yeah,
And then it's bedtime. Oh, let's go.
But again, it's you know, we talked about this yesterday. You know, another game
Yeah.
that brought a lot of people, the casuals, into the market is Sims.
yeah, it did.
Yes.
That I can agree
Yes.
with.
Yes. Yes. But and that's the thing, Ty. To your point, and we're gonna get into that subject after this. To your point, The Sims started off as a game for the casuals. The Sims was not some super immersive, specific niche thing that then got taken over by the casuals.
Well, the thing is this, though.
When the Sims was born, when the Sims was born, it was for the casuals.
Well, hold on there, damn minute, Loke. So this is the main thing that you need to
But
understand is that
okay,
someone, like, if you go back to Sims 1, for instance, like, it's still a PC game. And back in 1998, 1999, your girlfriend doesn't want to play a PC game. She doesn't give. So someone has to introduce them to that. So it was a situation where, like, for instance, even with me, with my ex, it was it was like a situation of like, well, I play games and I think you'll like this. And she was reluctant, and I almost had to sort of like, yeah, just try it. And then she got into it. It was not accessible. Like, it was not marketed at mainstream. It was just a god game, similar to Black and White and similar god games at the time, or SimCity. Those are the most of the people that got into Sims, were the guys that loved SimCity. But it was cool for your girlfriend to play it. You could introduce her to it, and she'd be chill, and she might even end up loving it once you show her the controls, because of how inaccessible the keyboard and the mouse was. So it's not a matter of like you just handed it like a cell phone. You just gave it to her, and like Candy Crush, she got into it. There was still almost like a barrier that someone had to facilitate between the casual and the hardcore.
the reason why I disagree with that is because I feel like the spirit of Sims 1 to 4 was preserved, except for they started piecemealing like by your puppies, your
No, but they were
careers.
no, but they were doing that in the Sims 2, like Sims 1 actually. was the first to introduce expansion packs. Like I think Sims 1 had
and
like over
and
20.
that's what I'm saying.
By Sims
Okay,
2,
so they always did
bro,
that. So they always
they
did that.
always did that. Like by Sims 2, dude, like
So nothing's
I remember.
changed.
No,
They
nothing's
just
changed.
made it easier to interface. The
Yeah, like
soul of the game remained the same.
yeah.
My
Like
argument with the FELT situation is that the soul of the game is gone.
yeah. No, like Sims was always like that. Like
That's my argument.
yeah. Like Sims, I remember I
So
bought like
so
10 expansion packs for my girlfriend at the time. Like that's how many they were.
oh
Like
my god, Raichi. Guys, check Raichi's comment. I'm not gonna put it up on screen. Oh my god. Raichi, what's wrong with you?
wow.
What is wrong with you, Raichi?
Right, she's
Oh
just
my
speaking the
goodness.
truth. He's just stating the
No, he's
facts.
not. Oh my goodness. All right.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be great.
Just
We're
a
gonna
quick
make
one
it
on the
wonderful.
on the
Go
Sims
ahead.
comment, the guy who created
Yeah.
it, he didn't like, obviously that was a time where guns were being made, shooting games were popular, and he wanted to create a game that was different. I think this is the key thing here. You started to have different types of developers who had different ideas of games. So the creator of The Sims actually referenced as a dollhouse. Now he didn't say it was targeting women, but he referenced it as a dollhouse, which is very different from what we were having. So when you start getting these different types of creators, you start to get these different types of products. And I'm saying like the expansion of that then probably led to more females coming in. So Ushers is probably right. There was a facilitator there. But I will say this: I was playing The Sims. It wasn't because my sisters were playing it. I was a kid. So the idea was interesting to me, right? It's the same way how I bought Nintendo, same way how I bought Mario Kart. I'm not just solely focused on shooting people. So when you have someone like me playing The Sims, well, I could grow up
Mhm.
then, and then maybe I don't want to make a shooting game or a Doom game. Maybe I want to make a game that's a little bit different, right? So then you start to get your new Druckmans coming in. You start to get people who like Indiana Jones, and I think that's how the industry starts to expand. So The Sims, yes, led to more casuals coming in, and so that's those casuals making more casual games.
All right. Let me put up the subject matter because the chat might not be aware about what we're discussing. Yes, Ron Slasher. It seems like there will be romance in InZOI. So 28th of March, guys. Look forward to the beta and have a blast if that's your jam. For me personally, it's not really my thing,
Nah, same here.
but who knows? Who knows? It might just explode. Who knows? But yeah. So what we were discussing, right? What we were discussing is this picture over here. That's what the three of us have been discussing for the last 30 minutes. Oshus actually is the one who originally sent it out, so we could like chat about it. And I thought it was interesting. Instead of keeping it in the back room, I was like, all right, let's table this one. I think it'll be interesting to have a discussion with the chat. So yeah, I think everyone here has watched 300. It's a seminal movie, one of those. Some people would call it a goat among action movies.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
yeah,
Zack Snyder's best movie.
yeah,
After
person.
maybe I would say the only one that comes close is Zack Snyder's Justice League. That was I loved that 4 hour
Oh yeah,
movie.
the uncut one, right? The real
Oh,
one,
bro,
the
like
Snyder cut.
I think
I got chills.
in my
Yeah.
opinion, that's probably the second best comic book movie ever made.
All
That's just my
right.
love it.
Okay. Breathe. Breathe. Take a minute. Right. Step away from the microphone. Now go wash your mouth.
No, it is. Like I can defend why I say like
Okay. Give
because
us your top three. Give us your top three comic book movies.
um so number one will always be The Dark Knight. Number two will always be Winter Soldier, and number three I'll say Zack Snyder's Justice League.
This guy's off his rocker. Off his rocker. No Watchmen. No Endgame.
Well, Watchmen
No.
is in the. I'll say Watchmen is in the top 10.
Ridiculous.
The problem with Watchmen is that
Ridiculous.
if you've read the comics, Like
Yeah,
the
the
problem
movie
with
is
Zack,
very abbreviated. The movie is
I
very
love,
abbreviated.
yeah, it's very panel for panel because I have the comic. It's very panel for
Hmm.
panel, the comic. The only problem is that Zack Snyder doesn't know, like he can translate directly from the pages into cinema, but like he doesn't understand that like what's on a page, when you translate it to cinema, you have to make it cinematic sometimes, including the dialogue. He knows how to make the picture cinematic, but some of the dialogue that worked in the comic did not work in the movie. And I felt that it really hurt the, how can I say, the overall sort of impact of the film, because he, you need to rephrase certain things because they're just not going to come across as they do when you read them on a page. But what he did in that movie that actually made it, in my opinion, one of the best comic book movies ever made, is he changed the ending from the comic, and he gave us an ending that was far more grounded, and a lot of people hated him for that, but it worked, and I thought it was brilliant. Like it's still in my top 10, but it's just not in my top 5.
Okay, Ty, top three comic book movies. Yes, Vincent Vega. Good shout. Top three comic book movies, Ty.
Man, Winter Soldier comes. Oh, you know what? The first Spider-Man movie is number one, and then
Okay.
next is Winter Soldier, and the next I'll say man, the Batman Christopher Nolan movie is close, but I think I'll say Endgame.
Endgame. For me, number one, without a shadow of a doubt, is Blade. That's
Oh
the
shit.
Blade.
number one for
Oh,
me.
Blade is in my top 5. Yeah,
That's a good shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
yeah.
good one.
Blade is number one. Dread, number two. Endgame.
Dread is my top 10.
This guy is now remembering, oh fuck, maybe I made the wrong choices. Number three,
So
actually, it's not
good.
Endgame. It's not Endgame. It's Infinity War,
Infinity War.
because
So yeah.
That
that
was
ending,
brilliant. Yeah,
boys,
that's on
my
my, yeah. That's good.
You
guys,
know, I think
my wife, right? When the whole MCU started, I used to drag it to the cinema just for the fuck of it. When we watched Infinity War, and then the credits started rolling, she looked at me like, so babe, is it finished? Like she was panicking. She was panicking. Is that she's like, is there a second part to this? Like, should we get more popcorn? And I'm like, nah, I think that's it. Then the lights came on. Everyone was still seated in the cinema. Like, what did we just witness?
Yeah, that was good.
I'm sorry, that was an absolute cinema. And Infinity War for me, the ending, mwah,
Mm.
amazing,
I
amazing.
think what's really hard about Endgame is that you can't really get that Endgame feeling without the Infinity War feeling. Like it's just
Yes,
you need the Infinity War to do it. I do
yeah,
have a critique of Endgame though, and I think that when everybody comes back, it's amazing. It's such a good feeling. But I think Endgame needed villains to match.
Yes, I agree with Ty.
Yeah, it just felt
Like
like
bring, like you kill the main, like the whole Thanos thing was so weird to me because I thought they started it off correctly by killing Thanos in the first couple of minutes, but then choose a different bad guy. And I don't know how you do that. Like, to be honest with you, like how do you go from Thanos to something bigger than Thanos? But like I felt that like this whole thing of Thanos coming back again after we killed him in the opening act was repetitive. Like
nah, for me it worked.
and
Dude,
the worst thing about it,
Ushers, that scene of you tried, you went to
no, but
different
the thing is,
universes, and
no,
where did that bring you? Right
no,
back to me, bro. That
like
is an
it
iconic.
rhymes. But my thing is this,
Come
dude,
on,
is
bro.
this, like it's not the same Thanos. So you are fighting Thanos, but like he's a different guy from a different universe. It's not the same guy that did all the shit in Infinity War. Like so, to me, the stakes were
Fair enough.
different because
Fair enough.
you've already killed that guy. This is a different guy. So you could have just as well created another villain. I don't know how you do this because again, it would be difficult. But another
Yeah,
villain that would be just as invested in.
I
I
think
would have gone with the Red Skull.
we
I
need to
don't know
no,
move on,
how.
I
fellas.
actually I agree
We
with
need to
like
move on.
using Thanos again. What I'm really
Mhm.
more referring to is that when you think about not Winter Soldier, sorry, when you think about um yeah, Winter Soldier, right? That fight with all the Avengers going against each other, like that. Sorry, that's Civil War. That's what I mean. You need other characters to match their energy. So there should be some. Look, Captain America can fight Thanos, and so can Iron Man. Yeah, but you need other heroes. Sorry, anti-heroes who are there who can like at least bolster up Thanos. Because what you ended up
So
having
it's not
was
just Thanos by
yeah,
himself.
you had all these superheroes against all these minions and Thanos. Like that's not a good fight.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They didn't do a good job with his lieutenants. That's
can
fair
I
enough.
ask
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
guys a
exactly.
question? Can I ask you
Yeah.
guys a question that I think is important? Who's your who's your top bad guy in the MCU?
We don't mean Marvel, right? We mean MCU.
Marvel, yeah, MCU, not Marvel, like MCU
I
specifically.
would say, before I respond to that one, Fuzzy, good shouts. Blade, Watchmen, 1978, Superman. Tortoise, we will get to this one. This one's an interesting one. But for me, honestly, it's Killmonger.
Yes,
For me, Killmonger is number one.
yes, yes,
Really?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because it kind of makes sense. Like
yes.
what he's saying, it kind of vibes, bro. Like
No, it doesn't make
Thanos, you
sense.
can sit there with Thanos, you can sit there and be like, yeah, dude, if you get all the Infinity Stones, why not just make more resources? Why'd you have to kill half the planet or whatever? Killmonger, it's like, yeah, man, like, how do you address the problem that he is that he is presenting without doing what he is doing right now? I don't know, man. I kind of
His
feel
plan
it.
was ridiculous though, Killmonger. Like, it
Yeah,
wasn't
his
good.
plan again,
How was it ridiculous?
his plan is
Taking over
not great,
Wakanda
No,
but
taking
he's
about Wakanda
um
is fine, yeah. But what was his objective?
to become king of Wakanda and then revenge
Against who?
against the man. What are you talking about?
But who? How?
The man, bro. Like, please,
He wanted black people around the world to turn against like what
the
the
man,
Western powers.
the man.
So basically, Killmonger sends a message. He hacks into my PC and says, "Ty,
Yeah,
as a black guy from Africa, take over Island." Is that what it is?
the man. That's all I'm gonna say. Is that like
yo.
there's like
Listen,
quote close
listen.
quote close.
No,
Can I say this?
no.
Like, there's over
Okay,
2 billion. What is it? He says there's over 2 billion people in the world that look like us, but their lives are a lot harder. Wakanda is the
Okay.
tools to free
Then,
them
then do you know
all.
what you do then? Here's what you do.
What?
Yeah, Killmonger tells every black person come
Hmm.
migrate to Wakanda. You don't
No,
take over a country because you don't like what they're
no.
doing. Yes, of
He
course.
no.
goes and he colonizes the world using Wakanda technology, bro.
But why?
Okay, that
But
was
why
some
would he do
bullshit.
that? Yeah, but
Boom!
that's just
No,
bullshit.
no, that would be dumb. That would be dumb. What I
Why?
understood,
Why?
no,
Why?
what
That's what
I
I got.
understood about, from Killmonger, what I got from Killmonger was
Yeah.
he disagrees with the isolationist philosophy of Wakanda, and his idea is to take over, open up Wakanda to the rest of Africa, and do what
Yeah.
Gaddafi
Yeah.
tried to do. That's what I understood from Killmonger.
Nah, that's
His
not what he meant.
execution was terrible.
No,
No,
he
but see,
was
that's not what he meant. He
no.
specifically meant like the Western powers,
Yes.
So that's why it was so
Yeah.
crazy because now it's like you're telling a British black person who's is a
Hmm.
lawyer just doing his thing, yeah, take over England. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick up weapons and take over my country, the
Yeah.
UK.
All right, maybe
If
Okay, I
you
guess I misunderstood. I'm gonna
oh,
rewatch. Thank you. You guys gave me a reason to rewatch
Yeah, you should.
Black Panther because
no, like
clearly I misunderstood him. I was like, dude, he wants to come in and end the xenophobia and be like, all right,
no. Mm-mm.
brothers and sisters, let's take Wakanda, right, and then copy and paste to the rest of Africa and become a superpower. That's what I understood
No,
from
like
Killmonger,
so
and the Wakandans just wanted to keep everything to themselves. That's what I understood.
it's part of that, but like I'll give you a couple of examples. So he's like he's got a more Malcolm X approach to the whole thing, and I'll give you another character or another historical figure that you'll recognize. Um, Basically, Killmonger is like a Chris Han. You know most of Chris Han, you know,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
South Africa. He's all about that. He has not. He understand where like his whole thing. And again, like
Bit of
I'm
an
sorry,
extremist, Chris
he's an
Hani.
extremist. He's an extreme.
That never works out well, Oshus.
No, it doesn't. But that's the whole point. That's what makes him such a good villain because he is the counter Trump or Elon Musk type of
Oh
character.
my god. All
That's
right,
what
I
he
think we're
is.
done with it. All right, we're done with this. We're moving on to Tortoise Hawaii's
Uh,
question, which I think is interesting. What's your favorite video game movies? Let's just go with one each and no repetition. Ty, go first. What's your favorite video game movie?
Video game movie. Yeah, pass it on
Yeah.
to Oshus because I need to think about it a
Okay.
bit.
Cautious
Mortal
favorite.
Kombat.
Dun, 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 dun.
Isn't- That is the greatest ever.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's my number one, bro.
That's
Mortal
number
Really?
one.
Kombat. Hmm.
No way.
Yeah, the original Mortal Kombat, 1995.
Oh, the original. Did you watch the TV show?
I
No, we're
did
talking
like
about
Mortal
movies.
Kombat
We're talking about
Conquest.
movies.
I did. I just
Okay.
felt like that was like a Guna show because they had like a whole bunch of Guna scenes that were so unnecessary in that show.
Okay. Okay.
You still
Listen,
remember what I'm talking
listen,
about, wasn't
Mm.
listen, listen. They knew who they were talking to. All
Yeah, but they
right.
were unnecessary. Like,
Let's let's not hate. I don't think they were necessary. They got the ball rolling. Um,
Do you know
Try
what? My answer is it's gonna seem very simple, but it's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, has to be Pokemon.
I
Like the
wanna
first movie. I'm
be
talking about
the
the very
very
first
best.
Pokemon movie. I remember when I
No,
was a kid, I watched that. Like my mom
ever
took me to the cinema,
was. Dum
and
dum
that
dum.
shit blew my mind.
To
Mm.
catch them all is my real quest. To train them is my goal.
Yeah, you shut up.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Clearly, someone did like
Yeah, dude,
the
like
Pokemon
Pokemon was my
movies.
shit
Yeah.
forever.
For me. Ooh, nice shout. Sly Crow says Detective Pikachu.
Hmm.
Uh,
Detective Pikachu was actually way better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a shit show, but it was actually pretty good. Um, hey, Batikis Prime, what's happening? What's happening? Says, are we increasing our level of critical thinking? We shall see, Batikis Prime. We shall see. Also, what's your favorite video game movie? Tortoise Hawaii says Mario movie. As for me, fellas, I was a teenager and Angelina
somebody.
did it for me. Angelina did it for
Oh,
me.
oh,
I still haven't seen a movie that's done better. I still haven't seen a movie that's
okay,
done
that's
better.
a choice. That's a choice.
Yeah, but Tomb Raider raided my memories, essentially. Um,
Like the first one wasn't bad. The first one was good. The second
Tortoise
one,
Hawaii says gross.
uh,
Tortoise Hawaii says gross. Ty, do you think I'm disgusting for admitting that I like what I like?
From a no, I think it's fine actually. It's just from a movie perspective. Was that movie even good? Like the
the
only
Yes.
good thing
first
was
one was
Angelina.
alright.
Yeah, the first one was okay.
It was
Yes.
really okay. It was one of the most
Yes.
okay movies you could find. I'll say this: Angelina Jolie looked fucking good in that. Like the casting was
Tortoise
110%.
Tortoise Tortoise Hawaii is mentioning the first 30 seconds because he knows what the hell happens, right? Right to the beginning of that movie. You know what's up, Tortoise. You know what's up. You also only watched 30 seconds and you were good. Leave me alone. Stop judging me. Osha, sorry, finish your point.
I was
Tortoise
just
is
saying,
trying to judge me.
like the casting was 110%. Like they could have not cast
Yes.
at that era a better actress than Angelina Jolie to play.
Yes.
They made her as sexy as Eidos is afraid to make her now, and using a
Yes.
popular actress. Like she was, like it was mesmerizing watching her in the first movie. The second movie is the dad that like sort of made the whole thing forgettable. Like, yo, that was a bad
Yes, Tortoise
movie.
Hawaii 176 times, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, no, no.
Ty, I take it you haven't seen the Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie.
No, I have. I just maybe just didn't think they were that good. Like Angelina's good. Like she was great. That's probably the best thing about the movie. But um, because the only thing I remember about that movie is Angelina Jolie, so it probably wasn't a very good
Yeah,
movie.
no, it wasn't a great movie.
Listen,
Like, for
listen,
me, as a
listen.
10-year-old or whatever, however old I was at the time, it worked. I was like, whoa.
Fellas, yeah, fellas. Half of movies is watching. All right, and like Osha says, if you nail the casting perfectly, you're already halfway home, in my opinion. And I think the fact that they made a shit ton of money with those movies, that says it all.
The
All right.
first one, the second one, I think was a bomb.
I will do some research on that when I have more time. Oh yeah, Wanted is also good. Jacob Novak, good choice, and it also stars Angelina Jolie, which she was
Wanted
still
is
hot.
not a gaming. It's a whatchamacallit. It's
Really?
a
Comic
comic.
book?
Yeah, comic book. It's not a gaming movie.
Huh? I didn't know that. All right, all right. But yeah, for me, it was definitely Tomb Raider. Anyways, the
Interesting fact.
subject.
Sorry, before we go
Yeah.
on. Interesting fact. All the characters in the comic book, in the Wanted comic book, were based on famous actors, musicians, etc. The protagonist in the comic book looks like Eminem, and
Oh,
the character that Angelina Jolie plays looks like Halle Berry. So every single character was modeled after a celebrity, but none of those celebrities sort of appeared in the movie, unfortunately.
oh God. Ron Slasher says a Dustborn movie would be good. Would you guys go watch a Dustborn movie?
Um,
You have to think about it, Oshus. Get the. You know what? I'm gonna kick you off the show. I'm gonna kick you off. You're
You know
done.
what?
Go
Would you
home.
watch
Go
a
to sleep.
highly sexualized Dustborn movie?
a what?
Highly sexualized Dustborn movie. I
But
mean,
Oh,
like
none of
you,
those.
they're all
But
attractive as hell.
no, but none of those characters are like attractiveness has got
yo,
nothing to
Pax,
do with
Pax,
physically.
Pax, Oshus. Pax is fine. She is
Huh?
fine, bro.
Okay, I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Pax is?
No,
Oh my
who's
goodness. All right,
Pax?
just Google it. Google it. Pax. Pax from Dustborn. She is fine.
Ah,
But no, Ty, I probably still wouldn't watch it
yeah.
because the story. I don't like the story. I don't like the story,
I don't,
and if the writing is faithful to the source material, I'm gonna want to claw my ears out, my
you
eardrums
know,
out. I'm good. I'm good.
I would
I'm not
watch it if
watching
it
a
was
Dustborn movie.
directed by James Gunn.
James
Because
Gunn would not piss on Dustborn if it was on fire.
I think he would. Like I think like James Gunn,
I
you
don't
forget
think he
like
would.
he's very much like pro feminism and all that stuff. Like I think
You
he's
can,
the
dude.
only director.
Wait. Wait, wait.
Yeah.
If you're pro feminism, you're pro bad products.
No. I'm saying if like James Gunn is also a comic book writer, so he knows how to take.
Hold on a minute. I told you that
But
James
this
Gunn
guy,
wouldn't piss on this movie if
no,
it was on
because
fire. Your
why?
defense
Okay,
was
I'll
he's a feminist. So
well,
I'm challenging your point, Oshus.
okay. So give me a chance to finish my point then, so I can tell you why. Like have you ever heard of like what is this thing called? But like James Gunn is part of like an underground filmmaking community that used to make I think it was like Tromeo or something like that. They but he's from. Have you seen James Gunn's first films? Like his early work?
So you have nothing. You have nothing.
No, but like again, you're not answering my you just sort of like
I
dismiss
don't
it.
know James Gunn's bibliography.
Okay, so go watch a movie, put it down. It's called Super. Yeah, it was
All
called
right,
Super.
guys. Now start making points.
Okay, here's
Let's
my
all just start making vague points and then
here's
start
my
telling
here's
people
my point.
and tell people go and play, right? Like Ty, next time Oshus brings up a point, tell him to go and play a specific Assassin's Creed game he's never heard of, right? Like the
Well,
Russian Assassin's Creed game. Tell him to go play that,
I've
and then
played
after
that.
he plays,
I've played the Chinese
let
one
me
and the
finish.
Russian one.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Tell Oshus to go play like one of these random Assassin's Creed games, and then after he finishes that Assassin's Creed game, he can start talking about shadows
Okay.
with you,
So
Ty.
can
That's
I
what
ask
we're
you?
now doing on TSWS. That's what we're
Okay.
now
So,
doing.
but aren't you the one that asked me like if I'd go watch a movie? That was that spawn. And then you're
Yes.
dismissing my answer when I'm trying to explain to you why James Gunn would be able to direct the
Yeah,
movie.
and your point is go and
But
watch
like,
his
but the thing is, you're
bibliography.
dismissing. You're not listening. You're not giving me a chance to sort of explain to you why James Gunn would be an ideal
No,
guy to
your
direct.
question. No, I asked you to explain, right? I kept my mouth shut, and your big brain idea was go and watch his movies, his early movies. That
I
literally,
was
I
building
did
up,
not pressure you. I told you say whatever you want, and you were like,
but
go and watch his entire bibliography. And I'm like, bro, come on.
but did you let me finish why I'm saying that?
So you don't want me to go and watch his bibliography?
No, can I finish let me finish the point so you can understand why I'm saying go watch James Gunn's
Ty
older
is
movie.
about to go take a shit right now. All right, go ahead.
So this is the thing, like James Gunn is a comic book writer. And the one thing that James Gunn can do, and if you watch the Suicide Squad that he directed, he can take the most obscure characters and make them gold. Like, for instance, Polka Dot Man, a character from the 60s and the 70s that nobody cared about. But at the end of the Suicide Squad, that character was probably the most endearing character in that story. He's so good at taking the most outrageous concept of a character and making it work. I can see him taking that team from Dustborn and actually making them endearing and characters that people want to see because he's good at writing those stuff, especially if he's writing something that is an ensemble cast, which is like a team or a rogue squadron or whatever. So that is why I would say I would watch it only if James Gunn directed the movie.
All
That's
right.
it.
Ty, are you watching uh, Dustborn if it's made by a specific um, movie director or writer,
Yeah, for sure.
producer?
I think the
Okay.
directors and if you have the right writer, they can turn something into something special. Like these guys are important in the direction of any movie. So yeah, like for example, any movie Christopher Nolan is making, I'm interested in the
Yeah.
same way how any movie any game Kojima makes, you're like, yeah, I'm there,
Yeah.
gobbling up.
Are you about to suggest if Kojima makes Dustborn 2, it'll be a masterpiece? Is that what you're about
Would
to suggest?
actually that's a
Yes,
good
yes,
question.
one hundred
That's a good
percent.
question.
Because Kojima, what he would do perfectly is he was going to change all those characters, make them look very different, right? And we're probably going to like the way they
It's not
look.
Dustborn anymore. He'll make them
Now it's not
likable.
Dustborn
He'll
anymore.
make them likable. He'll
Oh,
make them
this.
likable.
Oh, but
Oh,
but
dude.
but James Gunn can't do that. But Kojima can. Who's a
Yeah,
stan?
yeah. Because I feel like these people that we're talking about, your James Guns and James Cameron and whatever, these are people that don't, like even Zack Snyder, they don't run away from the source material. They don't have the power or the conviction to be like, yo, I'm about to destroy whatever it is that is the source material. And unless you let me do it, I'm not going to do it.
But you see, I think what's actually going to happen here is that when you look at Dustborn, you could look
Actually, I
at
take that back.
the
Zack Snyder make Batman kill people. I take that back. My bad.
you could
Sorry.
look at
Go,
the
go ahead, Ty.
execution of Dustborn, for example, right? And you just chop it down to like bad writing, bad narrative design, whatever you want to call it. But when you have somebody who can actually write something, they're gonna make it
Yeah,
so much better. They're actually gonna tell a
exactly.
story of a
Oh,
maybe a
shit.
LGBTQ couple or a racism story much better in the way much better than what these other writers are doing. So yeah, I would definitely trust a Nolan
I
or
mean,
a James Gunn to write those kind of stories.
all you have to
Thanks,
do,
Vince.
Loke, is go watch
Thanks, Vince.
what's this
Appreciate
show?
you.
The one with John Cena where he plays Peacemaker. Go watch Peacemaker
Peacemaker.
is exactly what Dustborn would be if it was directed by just James Gunn.
Isn't Peacemaker
Because
supposed to be bi, right?
yeah, it's very weird, dude. It's got like the one of the main characters is a black lesbian, and it works. Whereas that would never work in any conventional gaming sort of like setting right now because of the climate. But he can make something like that work, something
Essentially,
obscure. So he's
essentially,
that good.
for any writers out there, just don't make their identities their whole identity.
Yeah.
There's more to people than what they do with their uglies.
Or
All
what they
right.
look like.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back on task. This is how we fell into the rabbit hole of movies. We're talking about 300, one of the seminal movies of all time, in my opinion, at least, right next to movies like Gladiator, Alexander, etc., etc. Um, for anyone that's watched the movie, this is the scene where Leonidas points the spear at the traitorous and backstabbing Ephialtes, right? Saying, "You there, may you live forever." In the movie, he says, "May you live forever," which is like a curse, really.
Yeah.
And you can see Ephialtes' face there at the bottom. Um, he's like his body is definitely misshapen, and for someone to say "May you live forever" in that horrible state, it's like, yeah, man. One of the worst things you can wish on someone in Efialte's position. In this specific picture, it says "you there." So this is in our case as gamers. I take it as someone saying "you there, gamers." May your hobby hit mainstream audiences. The implication is that as soon as something becomes mainstream, it starts to die. Slowly, slowly, but the heart, the core of the thing starts to
Yeah.
die. It'll make tons of cash. It'll make tons of cash. But the thing about, like, even people that do it for the love of it starts to die. Everyone just hops in because they want to make the money. They want to make the paper. Um, so yeah, comment section. What do you guys think about this picture and the implication specifically on gamers? Do you guys think gaming going mainstream has actually improved our industry, or do you think it's not our industry but our hobby? Has it made it better, or do you think it's made it worse, or it hasn't changed anything? It's still what it used to be back in the day. Um, Tai, Oshus, let us discuss. Oshus, first I want to get your take because you're the one who shared this with us. Um, what's your take on this picture?
I think if I'm being realistic,
Yeah.
it's always a 50-50 toss up because Taya mentioned something that like gaming really went mainstream around the PS1 era, where it started to appeal to a much wider audience. And my retort toward that was the fact that like, well, the audience had grown up, but they didn't grow out of gaming; they grew up with gaming. And then what slowly happened though is that I have no problem with gaming going mainstream, but people that are interested, that care about gaming as it is, adapting it. My problem is when developers say, you know what, how do we take this? How do we take Metal Gear Solid and make it that your mom and your grandma want to play Metal Gear Solid? That is my problem, and then that's what I see with like Microsoft. That's what I see with like EA and your Ubisoft, is that they're not saying we're taking gaming to the mainstream, but we want to attract people that care about it the way it is. They're saying let's change it so it could be more accessible. To me, that's the
It's
danger.
morph it. It's
Exactly.
morphin' time.
Yeah, they want to Power Rangers the thing, and I'm like, no, like we like it the way it is as Super Sentai. Don't turn it into Power Rangers.
Oh, check it out! He's showing his nerd credentials.
That's a deep cut. But
Yo, that one hit me. Let me take Vincent Vega off the screen. Ushers, right here, brother. I felt it. I felt it. Jeez, I used to watch that shit on SABC One, bro.
yeah.
God damn! And then we
Well,
started seeing Power Rangers.
yeah, man. Like, and my thing is that like it's so important to sort of maintain the identity of whatever you're doing. As long if you've got your core audience at heart, I don't think you can ever fail. And I think just to make an example that's across from gaming, but that's similar. Same with the MCU. When the MCU worked, is when it kept the core of what made Marvel special. Captain America,
Mhm.
Iron Man, the Hulk, the heroes that everybody cared about, Thor. When it didn't work is when they just started like using characters that have failed in the comics that nobody cared about, but they thought, you know what, since we don't have China anymore, let's try and get everybody to be into Marvel. And let's change Marvel from superheroes to incidental characters that happen to be superheroes. I'm like, no, but like you are now changing the entire identity of what this thing is. So, long story short, it can work, but you need to do it with the core audience in mind. Never abandon your core audience. That's why Nintendo is so successful, because Nintendo has always kept their core audience at the core. Zelda is still Zelda. Mario is still Mario. Regardless of how many systems change, the controls change, those will always be the same. You don't have a game where Mario is busy slicing people's throats open because, we have to grow Mario out at the moment.
Oh, damn! Damn, bro! Really?
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
just you went there.
But like,
because
but
that's
that's what
cool.
it is.
Or give Mario. Let's give Mario an AK-47 and a silencer because that's what's popping.
And
That's
depression,
what's
and
popping.
he's hooked on drugs, and he's an alcoholic. Like
And he has a
he's
kid. He has a kid. He
he's
has
a
to escort his
he's a
kid from one side to the other side. Yes, he has a kid, and
and
he's
he's
a bad
divorced,
guy,
and he's divorced,
and he's divorced. Yes,
and Princess
yes,
Peach is having an affair. Like that is what that is what a modern writer would say. Like whenever they say like we need
yes,
to do Mario, that's what a
yes.
modern writer would say. Is like well,
I
I
like
think
this
this whole
example.
idea of a plumber from 1989 is antiquated.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Saving the princess. Oh, that is problematic, brother. That
Exactly.
is problematic. Ty, before we start getting into the comment section, because I'm seeing a lot of reactions, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Ty, what are your thoughts on on what Oshis has said and what's on the screen right now? Go ahead.
I think there's a quote here from I think his name is Michael Bell, and he said that
Mm-hmm.
between 2011 to 2021, gaming's growth outpaced global economic benchmarks by 3.4 by 3.4.
Yeah.
When you have those kind of numbers, that's not a like that number is being invested into the industry. So
Yes.
basically, everybody's going to win. You're going to have people like who play The Sims, people who play Call of Duty, and people who play Mario. I think the issue here really is that there's a lot of content being made, and there's a lot of content out there
By
that isn't
grifters.
being made for you. And this is the complaint. For example, Flight Simulator, that's a that's a plain game,
It's
and
very
that's
niche.
selling millions, right? It's one of
Yeah.
Xbox. It has 15 million players. It can only do that because gaming has expanded so much, and you can only get that much investment because, like I said, gaming was outpacing real world GDPs. The reason why you have Street Fighter the way it is today at the moment is because of the fact that the industry has grown so much. Same thing for Tekken, same thing for any other game, really. And I think what's important to note here is that we can say things are bad or things ain't going well, but I'll just give you the example. This is games that were being developed 5 years ago that came out like in 2024. Space Marine, Indiana Jones, Power World, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Meta 4, Astrobot, Animal Well, Balatro, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon, Elden Ring, Persona 3, Paper Mario, Prince of Persia, Helldivers 2, Silent Hill 2, Shinigami Tensei, The Legend of Zelda, Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, Grand Blue Strategy, and Stalker 2. That's all just
This is a
2024.
conversation with Wikipedia, bro.
Listen, I had to bring the receipts because I know Usher's going to be saying some stuff. I'm like, okay, let's go then.
Usher's
Like,
gonna be capping.
you can't have all these games being made. These are all like
Uh-huh.
hardcore games. But the problem
This
is,
guy.
among these hardcore games, Fortnite exists. But how's that a problem? Mario Kart exists. Like Usher's brought up Nintendo. Nintendo is a casual game console. Nintendo makes casual games. Mario Kart is casual. Now you could say it's great because they have hardcore elements in their games like Zelda, but Nintendo can make these games because they're primarily hardcore. Sorry, primarily casual. But Gears isn't really. Neither is maybe even Halo and all these other games. You need a wider base for these games to keep improving. So if you want more graphics, if you want a GTA game that costs 1 billion to make, that has to appeal to the casuals. If you want a Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that has to appeal to casuals. If you like right now, we're talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and what are we saying? It's one of the best Assassin's Creed in recent history. But guess what? It's also one of the most expensive Assassin's Creed in
It's
recent
pretty good.
history. If you want these improvements, you need to bring in more money in some way, shape, or form. So I'm happy that the market expanded because just because my neighbor is playing Minecraft or Marvel Rivals doesn't mean that I can't play the hardcore games that I want. Baldur's Gate 3 can only be made because the market is that big. 150 million across 7 countries and with over 500 employees. I can't remember how much the employees are, but whatever the employees there were, to make a CRPG game, that doesn't get made in the 80s or 90s. That has to get made because the market is that big. So I think you can say it's a curse, but the curse is irrelevant. The blessing is all you should be focusing on.
Oh, check him out, taking us to church. Pastor Tai in the house. Let's go. Let's go
Amen.
to the comment section. Let's go to the comment section right there. Uh, okay, so the first one is Vincent Vega says gaming going mainstream gave us such Peter like Assassin's Creed, FIFA, and 2K games. Again, I would mostly agree with Oshis on this one. It's definitely a 50-50 situation. I don't think it's as rosy as you were saying, Jai. I don't think that's what it is. But also, it's not the end of the world, and I definitely think the day is coming. It's fast approaching when we're going to have a proper market correction, and a whole lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A whole lot of studios are going to fold, and there's going to be like 6 or 7 AAA studios, and that'll be it. So yeah, do you guys have anything to add on Vincent Vega's comment here that we got these games like the new Assassin's Creed, FIFA, and 2K?
Is this in a bad way, or I'm not too sure?
I'm guessing it's a bad way because FIFA, for
I think
me
it's
at
a
least,
bad way, yeah.
stopped being good in like 2009, maybe.
Yeah. And I agree
NBA
with him.
2K 2012 or 13, I don't know. As soon as they introduced VC, and then
Yeah.
you could buy VC, that was it. Because before you could buy VC, because I used to play NBA 2K career mode before you could buy VC, you earned VC at a reasonable rate, and it was fun to play the game. Now, because VC is baked into the career, it's super slow. So it's like, all right, you need to pay for VC. Assassin's Creed, everyone knows. I hate the new format. Although I did play 4 hours of Shadows, and I have to say, as a video game, just as a video game, it's pretty good. As an Assassin's Creed game, for me, I'm still disappointed as a fan of Assassin's Creed. I'm still disappointed. Maybe after I get to play more with Nawe in the stealth missions, because I only did like the prologue, whatever, so I still have to play a bit more to get a better grasp of the game. So,
So
Ty, go ahead. Okay, Ushers, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna respond to your answer about like, is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? So
I'd say it's
my
a good thing.
yeah, like my thing is like, sorry, not even that. Vincent Vega's point. I agree with Vincent Vega that again, like it goes back to my 50-50. Like there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad. Like
Yeah.
for instance, Call of Duty benefited from going mainstream. Like we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 because it went mainstream. That's why
Hmm.
you got that game. We got Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion, which is a superior game because it went mainstream. And there's several other examples. Like for instance, I can't think of anything. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat becoming mainstream worked for the like Mortal Kombat 10, 11, not so much for 1. Games that suffered because they went mainstream is the likes of Mass Effect. If you compare Mass Effect 1 and 2 to 3, you can see that they took a lot of shortcuts when it comes to 3, whereas with 1 and 2 there was a lot more grounded in RPG mechanics, just very different in how they
Are
approach
you
them.
still salty about that ending? Ushers, be honest. You
No, no,
sound
no,
like
no,
you're still
no.
salty about the
No,
ending
like,
of Mass Effect 3.
well, they
You're
fixed it
still
for me.
mad.
They released the DLC that worked, and I was happy with the
Ah,
DLC.
okay.
So
All right, all right.
like I go and I still replay Mass Effect 3 to this day. But I replay the whole trilogy every time. And I'm happy with
Yeah,
it. But I just feel that
all
the
right.
gameplay they made changes. Like for instance, you could tell that they changed a lot of key people, like especially the guys that were involved with the story and the cinematics. Like with Mass Effect 3, the one of the most jarring things is how scenes just end. They don't transition out, you'll just end a scene and then you're in the next scene. And I'm like, but like, who's the narrative director here to say we need to like ease out of this? Like, whereas in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 1, it was very cinematic how they transitioned from
You have
one
to
scene to
pull out
another.
slowly. They don't pull out
Yes.
slowly. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
they don't, my man. They just like sprayed on the face, like motherfuckers.
Oh my god. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's move on.
What the
Let's
fuck?
move on to the next comment. Batitka's Prime says, if gaming doesn't go mainstream, then we don't have high paying content creation career opportunities. Tai, please tell us why Batitka's Prime is 1,000,000% correct.
He's right. I mean, just from a grifting point of view, these people wouldn't want to exist. Like, well,
He
what
talking
are they going
about
to
you,
focus on?
Ashes. He is talking about you right now.
They got nothing to talk about. They got nothing to say. But on a real note, the fact that gaming has expanded so much, like a lot of Minecraft creators ended up, making millions because people enjoy those games and people love those games, right? I don't want to take anything away from Minecraft players or people who enjoy that content. So he's right. IGN is as big as it is because gaming is mainstream. Same thing
Hmm.
for all these other websites. Same thing for like Maddie Plays and all these guys. Like, fair enough, you could say like, oh,
Aspen Gold.
as one go, you could say that you could find a niche, but then the less people who are watching, then the less chances are there for you to end up creating content, and the more competition there is. So it's good. I think the industry is in a very healthy spot now. Sure, obviously everything is overbloated and people are gonna get laid off, and that's been happening over the last couple of years. I think 20,000 plus employees have lost their jobs. I wouldn't focus on that, and I
Market
find it
correction.
yeah, and I find it interesting because like it's like gamers start to care so much. Like they lost their jobs. It's like
Yeah,
why? Why
bro.
do you
Fuck them.
care? Yeah, like
Fuck them.
who cares? Like
They ain't doing nothing for you, brother.
like bro, you just go Wukong. Like why are you talking about people losing their jobs in this sense? Like
Yeah.
your game, your consumer. Act like a consumer. So I think sometimes
Consume.
people want to be HR managers. They want to start getting all
HR
emotional.
managers.
I don't get these people. Gaming's in a good
No, but
spot.
okay, okay. Let me defend it just a little bit. Let me defend it just a little bit. Ty, it usually layoffs is a good indicator of what might be coming down the pike for your favorite developer. So when I hear news that From Software is buying PlayStation 5s for all their developers. Oh, sorry, Stellar Blade. The Stellar Blade developers
Shift up.
is buying PlayStation. Yeah, Shift Up is buying PlayStation 5s for all the developers. That's a good thing for me because it's an indication that the money that I spent on this game that I enjoyed, there's a higher probability I'm I'm probably going to get a sequel. Like it's safe. It's a safe bet to
Very true.
say that in the next 5 years, because of the way things went so well with the original Stellar Blade, I I can look forward to a sequel. And we look forward with the same way we look forward to game trailers when we hear that a certain developer is losing or restructuring or all these nice words that HR likes to use. This is something we should perk up and pay attention to because it might just be your favorite developer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna agree there.
So
Obviously, I don't want everyone
if we
to.
can celebrate, we can also be sad, right?
Um,
BioWare.
if we can celebrate, we can also be sad. Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
I don't.
because
Okay.
no one's calling out people. Why are you happy that Shift Up's buying PlayStations for all the guys? Why are you happy that From Software is increasing the base minimum salary for anyone coming into From Software because of how well things are going? Why are you happy about that? No one ever calls those people out. So why
Okay,
do we only call out the people that talk about the layoffs?
I think here's the difference, right? So I
Yeah.
made a statement about how, like, people should be consumers, and that is true. Now,
Mm.
just because I said that doesn't mean I'm indifferent to people losing their jobs or people in the industry worrying about their career prospects. I do care. I want every single game that's made to succeed, and I want everyone to be in the job, and I want the industry to keep expanding. If it can. However, I think when a company like ShiftUp is buying its developers video games or consoles, that is a sign of growth, and that's a sign that you have more things to expect from them.
Lots to
Now,
celebrate.
yeah, exactly. Now, when a studio closes down, I don't think we need to be gleeful about it and hate because, like, why would we? That's just not being a human being. That's just being an asshole. However, when I say,
Are you calling me an asshole, Ty?
yeah, you're an asshole, but but when I say like stop being
Listen,
HR
some people
managers,
like assholes. I'm just saying.
well,
You
I
you
don't think it's
I
cool to
think
want a
you're a
game to hate
bigot.
though.
I think you're a bigot that you don't like people that like assholes. I'm just
Uh,
saying. That sounds bigoted. It sounds bigoted, Ty.
Not at all, because I think
It's not very inclusive.
the default stance to want someone to fail is negative, and it's just being a douche. Like it's not cool, right? However,
Okay.
if a company like closes down or whatever it is, unless you're a huge fan of that particular studio, I don't know why you would even like care so much. I don't know why it would even like really register with you. So what I've seen is a lot of people are looking at the industry and they cry and say, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Do you know these studios? What games do they make that you like so much?" And that's where and they use that evidence as a way to maybe either shit on Western developers or Western, oh, the West sucks
He's
and
talking
East
about
is
you,
better.
Oshis.
I
He
can give
talking
you
about
one.
you.
They
He
made
talking
Dragon
about
Age
you.
and they made Mass Effect, and they are now almost out of business. Wow, I wonder how we got there.
Yeah, making bad products.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, but
Next
then
comment.
we have Cyberpunk, and then we also have Baldur's Gate 3. Like till this day, I'm always gonna
No,
say
but
like
like,
we make
but to
amazing
me, none of
content.
those games will never like. Again, that's got nothing to do with Mass Effect. Like, yes, those games exist, and they were inspired by Bioware, and they were inspired by the DNA Bioware created. But it doesn't change the fact that I still want to have Bioware making Bioware games. Like, why do I have to sacrifice that or lose that because
I'll
of?
tell you why, Oshis, and we need to move on to the next comment.
Yeah,
Because 90% of the people that were at BioWare when Mass Effect 1 released ain't there no more. Moving on to the
why?
next comment.
Okay.
Jacob Novak said EA, and dude, it's just a name on a plaque, bro. It's just a name on a plaque. It doesn't matter anymore. Shift up in 20 years, it won't be the same team anymore. It's fine. Let's just make peace with it. All right, nothing lasts forever. Jacob Novak says EA and Ubisoft, for example, used to be peak, but bad choices killed them, in my opinion. All right, but this has nothing to do with this thing going mainstream. Uh,
The problem with what you're
oh my,
saying is that like it's like you taking what team do you support in any
Manchester
sport?
United.
That's like you saying, well, Manchester United in 30 years, the team will be different. It'll be different people, different players. It doesn't nullify the fact that it's still Manchester United, and you still
Yeah, but
expect Manchester United to deliver Manchester United results.
you know
Like,
what?
like
That's a
to
good
me,
point. That's a good point, Oshis. I retract my statement. That's a good point. It's a good point. So yeah, the same way I'm struggling with Man United right now. We're on the bottom, in the bottom half of the table. You and Bioware,
yeah,
y'all can just swallow them L's,
it's done.
Oshis.
I mean, like Bioware is dead. Like
Like,
this, I don't know
yeah,
why
for
Tay is still
forever,
waiting. Yeah,
forever and ever and ever, Oshis.
yeah,
Y'all can keep on sucking on those L's. That's
yeah.
all it is. Because BioWare will not produce another banger. It
No,
is what it is. It's gone.
you don't have to tell me. I've accepted that Ty is the one that
All
still
right.
thinks that they're gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat.
All right. Jacob Novak says EA boss blamed Veilguard on not having microtransactions and Ubisoft is on their way down. I guess this is to
That's
the,
not entirely. I mean, like that's
okay.
half true.
You address it, Jake. Sorry, Ty. Go ahead.
He mentioned microtransactions and living. I think he mentioned living space, but he also mentioned like quality storytelling. Like I think it's important to note that like he's recognizing that hey, from a story perspective, we dropped the ball here. But also, I think we could have made the game more like connected. I mean, so you can say there's half of the things he's saying you don't like, but there's the other half that's him recognizing that hey, Vilga has some faults that I read that I agree with you, Jacob, that the story wasn't great, the voice acting was whatever it is. I just think it's important to like to note that.
Jacob went on to say, take Doom and COD, for example. Doom was the second ever FPS ever made. The first was also made by id. Doom revolutionized FPS as we saw it. COD was the modern re, re revelationize, okay, I think you wanted to say revolutionized
Revolutionized, yeah.
of Doom. All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Vince says grifting is more honest than shilling. Agreed or disagreed? No need for rants. Oshas, do you agree? Grifting is more honest than shilling. Which one is more honest, grifting or shilling?
Grifting.
Tai, which one is more honest, grifting or shilling?
Sorry, what's shilling mean in this context?
You you don't know what shilling? Okay, shilling
It's
is
having a
low.
chair for
No,
the studio that makes
is
the
low
game that you're
low.
reviewing.
Get the fuck. No, no, leave Paris alone.
And then,
Shilling is Loke sitting here, not actually liking what's it, Assassin's Creed. Suddenly, Loke gets a deluxe edition. Plus, he gets invited to go and play the game, and then suddenly Loke's like, "Yo, guys, Assassin's Creed, probably the best in the whole series. This is the goat Assassin's
Is that
Creed
not
game."
grifting?
No, that's shilling. Shilling is for the company.
Okay, for the company.
Grifting,
Yeah.
grifting is for like attention or for likes or whatever. So which one is more honest, grifting or shilling?
Oof.
Yeah, man.
That's a
Oshes
tough one.
quickly was like she was like grifting. Come
Griff,
on,
Yeah,
Griff.
Ty.
shilling probably.
Shilling is more honest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh
Said the
man,
corporate man.
I have to disagree with that one, bro. I have to disagree with that
It's
one.
like to me, the easiest example you can give someone is like grifting is like Candace Owens. Shilling, who sells the most? Shilling is like Mr. Beast.
Is shilling like pro America, like no matter what they do.
No, but Mr. Beast is
No,
shilling for his own company.
yeah, but yeah, I
That's not
suppose.
shilling. That's not
Yeah, I
shilling. It's
suppose
like
you're
me
right.
pushing for Tears
Uh, but, but, but,
WS.
but, 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 but what about like
What?
okay, I'll say like the
What?
the Paul brothers. They shill like a lot.
The Paul brothers, don't they just shill Prime, which is theirs?
Well, yeah, but still,
But
it's
it's theirs.
but they need sponsors for a lot of their shit to work. Even like with Mr. Beast, a lot of it is based off sponsors, like Ferrari, big brands.
Again, bro, sponsorship is not shilling, bro. Like for example, I'll use an example. Oh no, it's Alex does
Okay,
sponsorships.
fair enough.
He's not a shill. You can't
No.
call him a shill because he does sponsorships.
I would mention a dude, but like I sort of like the dude, and he's the
Who?
best example. No, I'm not gonna mention it. And again,
Ah!
I resent the fact that you brought up Paris because I didn't say anything about Paris. I was just actually my example was more towards Alana Pierce than like Paris. Like I like Paris. He's like
You
Black
think
Captain
Alana Pierce is
America.
a shill? I don't think
Yeah,
she's a shill. She
I think
caps
he
for
is.
PlayStation. She used to work at PlayStation. I mean, dude,
No, she caps for
if
whatever
I got a
company
job,
she's representing at the time. I think.
Okay, I think the reason why I would say,
all
maybe
right,
shilling, and maybe it's me, this is me just doing devil's advocate, is
okay.
because I think with shilling, it's easier to kind of see the faults, or it's easier to kind of catch them out. With grifting, though, it's probably a lot more difficult.
You don't know whether it's real or not. Actually, you know what? Fuzzy breaks it down better. Says you legally have to disclose if you're getting paid to shill, so at least it's obvious and it's out there and everyone knows. You know what? I'm
Mhm.
switching my choice. I think shilling is more honest than grifting because when people are grifting, they don't come out and say, "Yo, I don't actually believe what I'm saying." But when you come out and you shill for a product, you're shilling, which in and of itself says that you don't actually believe what you're saying,
Um, I would
and
say
that's why
like
you legally have to disclose it.
I
Good,
would say
good
everybody was
shout,
a
Fuzzy.
shill for
Good
Cyberpunk.
shout.
A lot of
Everyone was
people,
a shield for. All right, all right, all
a
right,
lot
all
of
right.
people were shilling for Cyberpunk.
Okay, so we're done with the responses in the chat. Clearly, we have mixed opinions. Anyone have any final thoughts on this specific subject before we log off today?
Quick point on I don't know, just in news that CD Projekt Red has hired apparently 50 plus new developers to work on The Witcher 4.
Okay,
That's good, I
I won't
suppose.
be playing Witcher 4. You guys already bullied me into paying for the Ultimate Edition. When I say you guys, I'm not saying you, Oshus, or you, Tai, but just like the gaming community as a whole. I felt a lot of incredible pressure. People saying like, "No, it's the greatest game. It's one of the greatest games of all times." I bought the Ultimate Edition of Witcher, and it was the most mid game I've ever played. I finished it. I was bored in the first hour, but I powered through that motherfucker. Put in over 100 hours, and it was still mid. I Any news on Witcher 4, guys, I'm sorry, I just don't care at all. And this has nothing to do with the fact that Ciri is the protagonist. I don't care. I like Geralt. I like Ciri. I even kind of like the world of The Witcher. But that gameplay, I'm out, bro. All the way out.
I look, I understand. I'll say this: I agree with you. The reason I agree with you, or like I understand where you're coming from, is that even for me, it took me about 3 years to actually start playing The Witcher, because it was like it was such an unapproach. I don't know, like there's something about the story that just made it very difficult for me to get into it. But I won't lie, a third into the game, after the mission with the king and the kid that turned into a demon or something, I was into it. By the time we got to the witches, I was like, whoa, this is some fucking like it drew me. I don't know, like I think I feel the way about the way you feel about The Witcher. I feel the same way about Red Dead Redemption 2. But I get where you're coming from in terms of like
Did
it's
you
not
finish out
good
here
enough.
too?
No, like I'm not even
You're
like
good.
halfway. But I'm
Like,
trying. No, no,
I'm
no. I
straight,
want to
child.
finish it because it's a great game. Like I will never tell anyone it's not a great game. I'll just say it's a game that's not for me. But I still want to finish it. I watched my bro finish it, and it was a great western to watch. But I just don't enjoy the game. Like the gameplay feels so antiquated. It feels like PS2 gameplay in the sense that it doesn't give you many options to sort of approach missions like an Assassin's Creed, for instance. You can only finish a mission one way in Red Dead. There is no multiple ways to approach a mission or an objective. You have to follow the scripted way to play the game. And to me, I found that so restrictive that even today I have to sort of force myself to get through it. And it's a great story, and I love the story. I love everything about it, the presentation. Like, there's very few games, I would say, like, in terms of like storytelling games, it's top five easily. There
Yeah,
is no better narrative in a game than in Red Dead, but like, yes, it's the gameplay is antiquated for me.
yeah, it's
So
something
I
else.
get where you're coming from with The Witcher to say that, well, it wasn't for you.
So I wanted to end the pod, but we need to look at some games. I forgot. There's some games that we need to look at, some trailers. Did you guys play Jusant?
Yeah,
That was on. It was on Game Pass a couple of months ago. I don't know if it's still there. Did you guys get to play Jusant, the
what is
mountain
it?
climbing game?
No,
Ty?
No.
Okay,
I
so this
know.
is another mountain climbing game. I tried Jusant and it didn't click, but because I'm stubborn, when I jumped to Steam, I bought it again. I don't know, like it was there, and I was like, you know what, maybe if I try it on PC, it might work. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, this one's on play. This is a PlayStation ad or PlayStation trailer. I don't know if it's going to be available on Steam. If you don't mind, Oshus, can you please check while we look at the trailer? The game is called Cairn. Oh my God, not Karen, but Cairn. Cairn, not Karen. Oshus.
What do you want me to check?
Google if it's going to PC or what are the other platforms while we look at the trailer. All
Okay.
right, everyone else, look at the screen. Managing your supplies. Wait, that was it? 14 seconds. Oh my God.
Well, spell that
Hold my
again. How's it spelled?
CA.
Oh,
Okay,
C.
so there's a YouTube link.
Yeah.
CAIRN. Okay, so there's a YouTube link. Let's switch to the YouTube link because 14 seconds just that's bad. That's
Okay.
just bad. Hold on everyone. Apologies. I will now switch the screen so we can see the YouTube announcement. So where else is it going, Ushers? While I
It's on Steam. Karen is on Steam. Yeah.
nice,
It's
nice.
on Steam and PlayStation 5.
Xbox nothing.
Nothing on X. Well, who's surprised, bro? Like, who puts games on Xbox?
Shut up, Ushers. Shut up.
A dead platform.
Stop being toxic. Here we go. PlayStation. Windy, rainy. Nice. Cooking. Wow.
Going back to we're watching
What?
the game that's about walking, right?
Yeah, it's like Death Stranding, just like with shittier
Oh,
graphics.
come on. It's climbing a mountain. What's wrong with
I'm in
you
the mountain,
guys?
yeah. But to go
Well,
back to the
You
point,
climb like on Death Stranding, you climb like little mount hills, like like little ant hills on the way, like, and a little rock can trip you
where's
and you can
where's
fall.
where's your sense of adventure, guys? Come on.
Oof.
but to go back to that conversation we were having earlier about
Yeah.
industry, growing, like the reason why you get games like Karen is because the industry grew, it became bigger and wider. Because why would an Oshus, a Taye, or Look, who are hardcore gamers, buy this game? It's
I'm
clearly
buying this
appealing.
game.
You ain't buying this game.
I'm
I'm
buying this game. I
Why?
bought Jusant. Have you got okay. You don't know what Jusant is, right? Let me show you
I know
what
Jusant. I
Jusant
know
is.
Jusant.
No. Since we're here talking about, oh no, this is Jusant, bro.
Like
If I
look,
can buy this, why can't I buy something else? Why can't I
look,
buy the other one
No,
that
you're
does the
fine. No, you're
exact
right.
same thing?
You're right. You're right. You'll
Come
buy
on,
this
bro.
game, but because
Come
the
on.
industry has expanded so much, a lot of these kind of games can exist.
God damn, Yobi is ripping me. Okay, it says like Death Stranding starts
and that's what
laughing.
I say. Look, the one
No,
game, yeah, that like I don't think we've ever spoken about here, and I think it's worth
what?
speaking about is you'll need to play the Killing Antidote. Mwah.
The Killing Antidote.
Ah, bro, bro, that is like survival horror, and it's made by an indie studio in China, and it is like, in my opinion, and mwah, masterpiece. The Killing Antidote, everyone in the chat. You guys probably know about this game. It's an awesome game. A lot of your favorite reviewers have reviewed it, and they said that it's an awesome game.
Oh, the graphics are nice.
Hmm?
Is this on
Unreal
Steam?
Engine 5. Yeah, it's on Steam. It's $270, bro. Like in South African rands, it's like $20 in
Before I
America.
forget, let me open Steam and wishlist this thing right now.
It's fucking brilliant. It's
The Killing Antidote. Antidote. Okay, it's 30 US dollars.
mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a demo as well. All right. This is not some Guna stuff, right?
Oh,
Cautious.
the survival horror.
Don't be taking us down this dark path.
It's a survival horror. Don't worry.
Aye. Why are you shouting? Why are you gay? Why are you gay? Huh?
Sorry.
This guy is out here shouting. The next game, I should have just opened the YouTube page. It's called Tenets of Spark. I'm looking at the trailer and it's just like 15 seconds on YouTube. I don't know why. Tenet of Spark. All right. There's the IGN trailer. Let's full screen this bad boy. Looks interesting. But yeah, man, if it's like Death Stranding, Yobi, I don't mind, bro. I'm down. I'm down. If it's like Death Stranding, that's a good thing. Jokes on you. I'm into that shit. I'm into it. Hold on. Ba, ba, ba. There we go. All right. Let's look at the trailer. There we go.
See, all I wanted to do was make things right, understand what's happening to me. But I can't just walk my own path,
Man,
so I follow theirs.
what? There's a Viking.
What the hell?
Oh,
Okay. This is a perfect shot, actually. This is a perfect shot for me to just stop right there. Fellas,
damn.
what are your thoughts?
That looks dope, bro. Like for me, that's how you get me into a game. Like that like the first couple of minutes to first couple of hours is how you draw me in, and this is you have my attention. That's all I'll say.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
This game is on Steam. They're asking people to wishlist it on
I'm
Twitter.
definitely gonna do that.
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, it does not have a release date yet. We don't know when it's coming out, but please, guys, wishlist this game because this looks like a proper banger.
Bro.
Yep, yep. Jacob says, I always wonder why does Sony and especially Microsoft don't acquire developers when they still are indie. I don't know. They should hire people like Ty. Ty would definitely be pointing them in the direction of these guys. Smaller experience like Karen is good for the industry. 1 billion%, brother. 1 billion%. Ty, so far, are you interested in this game?
It looks really good. I don't, from a gameplay point of view, I wanted to see a bit more, so maybe I missed some of
All
it.
right,
But like
let's finish the
the
trailer.
trailer looks good though.
Let's
Because I
finish
mean,
it then.
the
Let's
sequel
finish it.
did come out, right? And there's another
Yes.
multiplayer game on Game Pass that was pretty similar to this.
Yeah. Ashen. I think it's Ashen.
Ashen, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like Ashen much.
Yeah, I also didn't like Ashen that much. But Seafood definitely iterated or took like inspiration from Ashen. And
Yeah.
this looks like it's taking inspiration from Seafood. But let's finish the trailer, then I'll put it on loop and then we can talk more about it. Here we go. Oh, hey, that looked like It Man.
I must know the truth. I must know who I am.
What is the
Tenet,
truth?
fuck. Like, mwah. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about a good trailer. Like gameplay, but you put story in there. It's not freaking CGI with some
Ushers, Sifu
mwah,
like. Let's call it Sifu
mwah.
like.
This to me is how you sell me on a concept for a game.
Yeah.
I'm bought in. Like I'm like you've got my attention, bro. Like you got me, and this is a I don't know how a small studio like this can get this right. And
Yeah.
so many people get this, like big studios get this wrong. They show you CG that has nothing to do with anything that gamers care about. This is mwah, 10 out of 10 for this freaking trailer, bro.
Ushers, remember when we first saw the trailer for Sifu and we were like, oh
Yeah,
damn.
exactly,
It
exactly.
was just
You
like this one. Tons of
you need
gameplay.
to feel it as a gamer to say, oh, okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Like, don't show me something that I could see that is better on a cinema screen. Like, I don't care about you and your cinematic aspirations. I want to see what you can do for me as a gamer. Like,
Leave
how am
Kojima
I gonna
alone.
feel? No, no,
Leave
but
Kojima
Kojima's
alone.
no, but I've said to you that Kojima's different because his games are 50% cinema. So when he does a cinematic in a game, you understand that represents the final product that you're gonna get. But the problem I have is developers who are gonna make a game like Assassin's Creed, where 90% of the game you're gonna spend in game, but they're gonna show you a CG trailer. Why? Like, give me the like your game is 60 hours just to finish it, but you're not gonna show me any of that 60 hours. You're gonna show me a CG trailer to represent your game.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
All right, dude. Instead of swearing, just be happy that you got this. Tai, what are your thoughts on this game, on this trailer? Sorry, it's not a game.
It looks really good, and I you know I like the idea. It's innovative, right? It's Tenet of Spark is a cinematic action game where you seamlessly switch between three timelines: modern day,
Yeah.
Viking Age, and Aztec world. I love time travel, and I love anything to do with like sci-fi. So this has already kind of caught my interest. So I'm listen. As Usher said, the trailer is really good. It's well done. The music is on point. They're showing the
Music.
cinematic parts, and they're also showing like the actual combat, which is pretty good. Um, I wouldn't say what they're doing is necessarily like even new, because I'm pretty sure maybe Ashen and even Seafood did something similar as well. But yeah, it's definitely a good way to show off your game.
Mm.
So, and probably they need to hire the right people. I guess one thing I will say as well is that maybe they're just different audiences, right? So, like, like Usher said, like Kojima's products are, part movies, part games. So his style of cinema, so his types of trailers can work. And even to an extent, when you look at, let's say, Naughty Dog, right? Forget about the new game. Just think about Last of Us. You would argue that, like, when you watch that trailer, which is part cinema and part gameplay of The Last of Us, whatever trailer it is, I mean, it's a representative of actually
Yeah, it
what you're
works.
gonna get as
It
well.
works. Yeah, it works. I will not disagree with that. I think it worked.
Yeah.
Like for Last of Us like cinematic, like Last of Us 2 was like a brilliant, but it's like with all Naughty Dog's games, like my man, like Uncharted 4 is the definitive version of like what you call a balance between cinema and the gameplay. So all those games, like a lot of those games in that PS4 library work very well, including God of War. Which one? The reboot and its
Ragnarok,
sequel, Ragnarok. Yeah,
2017.
the reboot and Ragnarok. They did the same thing.
Ragnarok went on for too long, but yeah,
I
I
didn't
get
play
it.
Ragnarok, so I wouldn't know. But like in
Yeah,
terms of like
the first
trailers,
one's good. Yeah, the first one's really good. Ragnarok, it trailed off. Like the third act was too long. It's way too long. So yeah, guys, make sure to wish list
no, there's some.
Tenet of Spark
Um,
on Steam. Dubs in the chat. Everyone's interested, right? Oshus,
who's doing the
Tai,
music though? That music is tight. That sound
as
that soundtrack is tight to Ezite.
I I have no idea.
That was
But
dope.
to end today's show, we're going to end on a super positive note, an extremely positive note. Let me just set up the screen here real quick. This one essentially, guys, if something gets you down, right? If life's kicking your ass. In 2016, Yosuke Yukimatsu was diagnosed with brain cancer. That same day, he quit his job as a construction worker to become a DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is still kicking it.
Wow.
He's still doing damage. Cancer's
So
still like, yo, give me a break. Give me a break. And for me personally, what I take from this is we only have one life to live. And it it seems like the more you appreciate it, the better it gets. So let's not take our lives for granted. Let's not take our time for granted. Enjoy literally every second, every minute, every hour. Savor it. Enjoy like the taste of it. When you're playing on your PlayStation 5, don't just mindlessly press the buttons and listen to the actually listen to the dialogue. Actually try and digest uh, whatever quote that's in Assassin's Creed Shadows that you think is, surface level trash or rubbish. Actually engage with it, or turn off Shadows and get something that you can really get into and put all of your focus on, because life is good if you just give it everything you've got. That's what I took from this. Vince said he got another chance, so he respawned. Ty, what are your thoughts on this DJ?
I think it's dope. Sometimes, like, you ever heard those statements of people say, like, I lost my job, so now I'm doing something that I actually want to do that I'm passionate about. So I think this is something similar, except his take is a little bit more extreme, right? Because this is life or death.
Yeah,
Credit to him for saying, "Yo, listen, I'm gonna make the most of my life and do exactly what I want to do and have a good time." Now, lucky for him, he's successful in
it
doing it.
worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. It doesn't work out for everybody, but I think people can take note from this and live your life and enjoy it as best you can.
And the way I look at it, Ty, is that even if it hadn't worked out, even if the doctor said you only have 6 months, if in those 6 months he maximized his dream of being a DJ to the absolute fullest and then died, that would still be a dub.
Yeah.
That would still be a dub. Here's some quotes here before I give you the stage, Oshus. This Langley kid said, "We all live two lives, and the second one begins after realizing there's only one."
Yeah.
4KT says, "It's only after we have lost everything that we're free to do anything."
From Fight Club.
Quote from Tyler Durden. Correct. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Now it's just random ass people. Anyway, Oshus, give us your thoughts on Yosuke.
Not huh? Oh, this dude. Bro,
Yeah,
like that stuff to me is so deep because I was thinking about that today, and I was thinking about Carl Sagan and like what he said about like the Earth and where you are. Like all of us, each human being that exists, regardless of your financial situation, your background, your color, your race, your sex, all that stuff. Like you are the most unique thing that exists in what we know in this universe. Like there is no other life. Like there's nothing like you are as special. Like just because someone is a celebrity, they're not more special than you are. Like all of us on this planet are so special because we're so rare. Because there's nothing like us. So why are we so obsessed with living this life where we're always looking on the outside or looking far? Like, well, I'll be happy when I get to that point or when I achieve this. Dude,
be happy now, bro.
you're a miracle. Like your existence proves that something like life can exist in a dead, empty, barren universe. Like just
It
enjoy, just
shouldn't happen.
dude, take a moment just to smell the flowers and just acknowledge like the fact that you're alive. And that to me is like so special. Just your life is nothing, like nothing like you has ever existed before, and nothing like you will ever exist again. Stop comparing yourself to other people or other human beings or wanting, just appreciate where you are and the fact that you can breathe the air, you can wake up in the morning and look at your mom, look at your sister, look at your spouse, and be grateful that they love and they care about you and you have that relationship. Nothing like that exists outside this little tiny blue earth of ours. This is the only place that you get that. Go make the most of it. Like
As far as we know.
forget everything. Well, it doesn't matter what we don't know. This
True.
is what we know. This is all we have,
Ignorance
bro.
is bliss, people.
You are like there's nothing more special than you are. That's all I'm saying. And go appreciate that. Don't wait for other people to do it before you appreciate yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It is a blessed time to exist. Ty, before we go, please plug your channel, tell people where they can find you, what you're up to, etc., etc.
You guys can find me at Taya Talks, TAYETALKS on Twitter and YouTube. No specific content is coming from me at this moment. Like I said yesterday, though, I might be doing some Assassin's Creed stuff. There is this particular song in Assassin's Creed that like I've heard over and over again, and I like beats a lot. So when I hear a beat, I kind of want to write to it. So if I
Yeah.
can find the name of this song, I could actually end up making a video. Not too sure what I'll title it. It might be "How the Grift Dies" or um,
How the
"The
grift
South
dies. Oh
African
my god.
Traitor." It just
God
depends.
damn it.
Yo.
I'm just not too sure. It depends, if it's a spicy, if the beat gets a bit more spicy, I get a bit more
Yeah,
spicy as well.
they're coming for you, Ushers. All
Yeah,
right,
that's how you can find me.
all right, thanks. Jacob said, I saw someone on YouTube's. Okay, he saw someone on YouTube say this. When you don't give up, they cheer you on because you remind them of their dreams. But when you're on top, they hate you because you remind them of their dreams they couldn't achieve.
Oof.
That's hectic, bro.
Yeah.
50
That's
actually
that's
said
dark.
something very similar when he did like Get Rich or Die Trying. He said that was what inspired the title because when you're on the
Really?
top, they're all watching you because they want to see you fail. They're like,
Yeah,
okay, he's this big now, so the crash must be inevitable and it must be
inevitable.
large.
I'm different, man. Me personally, right? I'm just being honest. Me myself, I don't look for people to fail. The ones at least that succeed that I like, I'm happy for them, man. Like when Alex hits his goals, when The Rock hits his goals, I'm happy for these guys. I'm like, yo, dubs up. I'm not ever looking for these guys to have an L. When the Iron Lords podcast is having big dubs, I'm always happy for them. But I've never understood this hater mentality. I've never like it's never made sense to me. Do you guys want to add anything to what Jacob said? Even Asmongold, when Asmongold gets a dub, I'm like, yo, man, dubs for the Roach King. You know,
He is
Ty,
the Roach King.
are you okay when the Roach King gets a dub, or do you get mad?
Well, though, the guy said, yo, I'm enjoying the game. The game is good. And out of nowhere, they're like, oh, the game sucks. Oh, combat is bullshit. Like, get out of here, man. Listen,
Answer the question.
I'm always
When
going to
the
get,
Roach
yeah,
King
he
gets a
gets a dub.
dub,
Yeah,
do
everyone
you
gets,
get upset when he gets a dub? That's the question.
oh, no, no, no,
Ty
no,
just can't resist an opportunity to blow Assassin's Creed, bro. Like, he just can't resist it. Like,
It's a
he
good
just,
game. It's a good game. It's a good game.
I
no.
It's a
hope
good game.
it is.
You know why? Because it's like because you motherfuckers triggered me so much with this game. Like I swear to God. I'm
Me, I triggered you. Did I trigger you?
oh my days, all this who's John Loki, whatever his name is, people saying, "Oh, I
That
watched the
was that
video,
was Loke. I didn't
So
I
even
watched
know
the video,
that
this
shit.
and
That
that,"
was all Loke, bro.
and I was just like, man, like this is so, and the only reason I made that video is because, and I told my
yeah.
friend, I was all like, these people are talking so much shit. I just had to, I had to make a video or something.
Oh my
And
god.
even like listen, I'm active on the Assassin's Creed Reddit page, and
Obviously,
it's these
right?
tourists just coming out of nowhere talking about. I'm
Saying
like,
it
what you,
sucks.
not even just saying it sucks, but like when they did the 2 million, they're like, how many of them actually was sold, bro? It's like, man, what are we like? What are we talking? What do you mean sold? And then the dude is all like, well, Steam concurrent is like 40K. I'm like,
At
Assassin's Creed will sell
65K.
on PC. So I'm going back and forth with these people. And because I know Oshus is like a
So you
metaphor for
bring
this
that
bullshit.
energy here, my guy.
Listen, when the game came out, because this is with Dragon Age, yeah, some of these
Okay.
people they were too active. They were too like ha ha ha, IGN 9 out of 10. And I told Ushers, when EA was all like, yeah, this game sucks. I told
Yeah.
Ushers, like, yeah, but listen, go broke. Maybe you're right. you know, my faith was shooken a little bit. But then
Damn.
Ubisoft came out, dropped the
And they
game, and I'm
saved
like,
you.
this game
They
is
saved
dope.
you.
This game has
Ty
reminded
was like,
me.
Ty was like, R.
Like,
Kelly, you saved me.
This game changed
but
everything,
but you know
man.
what, Ty? Like, I
Well,
never expect. I even said this to you when we had the discussion. I said to you, I don't expect this to be a less than a 7 out of 10 game because I played Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 is not as good as Far Cry 3, and in terms of technically, it's slightly better than Far Cry 5. But bottom line is like Ubisoft doesn't make terrible single. Like I can't think of one. They don't make terrible single player games. They just make very monotonous single
slop.
player games
They call
that are
them
like,
slop these days.
well, they call them slop because of the fact that they have games like Elden Ring. Like, relatively, like, to be honest, Ubisoft is, in my opinion, in terms of making consistent first place, like they're even better than EA. They're more consistent in making single player games than in EA or Microsoft. They know how to do it, but the problem is that they start to there's no soul to them. There's no sort of like the
All right,
story
all
is
right,
not
all
something
right,
you
all right.
remember
The,
type
the
of.
podcast started, we started with us praising Ubisoft. We're going to end without shitting on them.
Yeah, but
At
I'm
least
saying that
not
like
today.
they're good at
Uh,
what they do.
Rachie says the day TSWS gets 1 million subs, I will become a hater. Tai says I too will be. Listen, when we get to 1 million, Rachie, dude, I I don't know how to thank you if you decide to be a hater. As for Tai, just send us your bank details. We'll sort you out. It's not a problem. you can be a hater on the show. But thank you so much for coming through, everyone. We really do appreciate you. This was another installment of Everything Plus Gaming on a random Tuesday. And we will be doing this on Wednesday as well. Tomorrow is the lowdown with me and Mr. Matt Likes Games, talking exclusively just about gaming, no extras. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one. Goodbye.